So there we have it. Call that series Beauty and the Beast. We had an amazing back and forth game for the first map, and then just an absolute stomp, destruction of the LA Renegades here by Luminosity on the second map. And I don't even know where to begin. We said they were susceptible to the tilt, that the psychology of it all might get to them. Well, they just looked a shadow of themselves there, Renegades.
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of scared if they were going to come out flat like that after that first map, and obviously they did. We also mentioned that this is a map that Luminosity is much stronger on, so we knew this was entirely a possibility. 16-0 might be a bit much, but yeah, it was just a bit of a show off. That knife there, maybe the one shining spot for Renegades in that whole match.
Yeah, I mean, we're going back and we're showing what happened in the first map there. This is a little recap. We're going to bring the train highlights just in a second, but Mo, you've been in situations like this. You know, you played a lot of series in your time, and you've had that close defeat in the first one. Is there any excuse for capitulating in the second one? It can happen, right?
At this level, I don't think it's more that they just were mentally out of it. I just think they're just not as good on this map as the other team. It just comes down as simple as that. The other team, Luminosity, is way more comfortable on this map than they are in Kabul. They, off the bat, showed dominance no matter what. They got the entries. There were even some rounds it looked like might have went Renegades' way, but at the end of the day, they even won like when they were down in numbers. So this is definitely Luminosity's map. If I'm Renegades, I'm still looking ahead to the rest of the tournament. The fact that they were able to take Luminosity this far shows me that they could potentially beat one of these NA teams, especially the way that these NA teams have been playing lately.
Yeah, but you gotta get a round. You gotta get one round.
I agree with you.
You take a tactical timeout and then you don't do anything different. It's criminal.
Well, Luminosity did it in the map before that, and they kept doing the same exact thing. I do not understand what it is with this specific team. Maybe they, like you said, their map puddle. Like they just don't have enough maps in their pool to be competitive on all of them. They definitely need to work on something, because if this is how they are on other maps, they're not going to have a chance in this group.
I mean, I think the worrying thing was you know, Sponge talked a good game, and it made sense after watching that first map. He said, we've been working towards this. We put so much work in for E-League, but to get a 16-0 again, it's a nightmare. He's not going to want to face the community. He's not going to want to go on Twitter again.
Yeah, probably not. It's definitely a huge setback, and it is a worrying sign after such a positive. But I think more so, like most said, it just comes down to the map. Because Luminosity, they're just world beaters on this one. I mean, that's the only way to get around with the Renegades on train. We've seen them; they can contend with the North American teams who are weaker. You know, overall, when you look at the entire world in general. So I mean, they can get away with this map against some of the weaker teams, but against guys like Luminosity competes with everyone on this map. This is very, very dangerous map to play Luminosity on.
And to get 2-0 in a series by Luminosity, I guess you would probably have assumed that was going to happen before, but having seen Renegades get 16-0'd, Mo, how do they match up against the NA teams in the group?
Well, here's the thing. This kind of cancels out their whole map one. After map one, we're like, wow, these guys came to play. This is insane. Maybe this is a series. We're going to have a good team on our hands. Then they get 16-0'd. It's almost like none of that happened, right? It's like we're back to square one.
You can't quite do that. We saw Azur have a sick game. You can't
but
quite
then
everything.
in the next game, he was at the bottom of the frag, which is weird for someone who was so dominant. You would want what changed from aim-wise for him from that to that, like from one map to the other?
I have a tendency to agree with Mo. That won't happen very often on this desk, but I think, you know, when a good performance is irrelevant. It's results that have got to count. Everybody has that one close game where you catch somebody cold or they're warming up or whatever, and you push them the distance. It's about getting the W's. When you're in the ascendancy, you've got to win.
I need to see more out of Renegades. If they play Kabul against one of these NA teams, I think they have a chance to win just based on what I saw. But I need to see more maps with them, because I don't know what to expect right now. Because we both know what maps these Liquid and C9 like to play.
Yeah.
I mean, if Renegades plays a North American team on train, you could say they're going to have a chance. They are going to have a fighting chance. So I mean, this one, especially when you look at the map result, how the disparity of how good the teams are on that map, and Luminosity being the best in the world on it. I mean, I think you have to chalk that one up to that. Now, I don't think it fully negates that first map. You obviously get like a new. We see this team in a little bit different of a light, obviously, but that first showing was good, and I think, you know, it only gets easier from here. So if you're Renegades, you say, all right, we just lost 0-2 to the best team in the world. It doesn't matter if you win 16-14 or 16-0. You're still getting a loss. You're still getting, you know, Luminosity is getting 2 wins, no matter what they win by.
Well, I have a tendency to disagree. I think there's a world of difference between a 16-14 and a 16-0.
Now
final
with the round
standings.
robin, do the rounds matter? Do we know that at the end of the day?
There is a situation where they could come into play.
So that's why a 16-0 matters big time for them, because that's potentially lost points they could have used to beat out the
it'll be for the third place decided. Anyway, we'll talk a bit more about that, guys. We're now going to throw over to Puck, and he's got an interview with the Brazilian Godfather, Fallen.
Thank you so much, Richard. I am here with Fallen. Fallen, first off, congratulations. Not only did you get a win, you got 2 of them, but the first one was a little bit more difficult than that second one. Was Renegades tougher than you expected on Cobble?
Yeah, definitely. They played super well. You could see they were prepared. And actually, as a pistol round on T, we knew that they would run Stratus, and we knew they would do something on B. And it was super funny because we went A and they had 5 guys B, we planted the bomb and a 5-5 retake. So they did their homework and they played super well on the first map.
And what were they doing that kind of caught you off guard? Why did they give you so much trouble throughout all of Cobble?
First, I think it's because they have good players on Cobble. AZR, Asteroids did some amazing job lurking on drop area. And then you have Yan with AWP on platform. He was a little difficult to counter him. And after all, I think we lost some clutch. So FNX had a chance to win on 1v3, but he dropped in the last frag. It was a good try from him. And actually, we did some mistakes as a retake on A. We had like 5v4 and lost a round because someone was danger or something. So small details, we did some wrong things, but props to them. They played super well on the first map.
And you seem to correct all of the problems going into map number 2. You came into this tournament as the #1 ranked team in the world, and you played like it all of train. 16-0, a perfect game. What was going right? Why were you guys so confident, and why were you able to just blow them out like that?
Yeah, I think we played super confident. We got some important kills. I think Fer played super well this match, and besides Fer, I think me and Code Zero with the AWP was just something that they couldn't beat us. Everywhere they were going, they were being picked up. They tried to go B. Code Zero was playing higher, got some kills. They tried to play Ivy. We had a good setup there with the AWPs as well. So I think the AWPs did a good damage on this map, and they couldn't counter it. But being honest, guys, 16-0 or 16-14 for us top teams doesn't mean anything. We could play Train tomorrow and they could play a super good match and beat us. So I think we should respect them. They are a super good team and they can do damage on this group yet.
All right, well, big congratulations on a perfect start to the group. Luminosity kicking things off 2-0. Let's send it back to the desk.
I'll tell you, this guy couldn't be more smug now, Puckett. That's absolutely outrageous. Just because he's a legend and everybody likes him, he can
Shout out to my boy Fallen.
He can still be wrong, Moses. 16-14 and 16-0, it's day and night in my opinion.
Same. I don't agree with what Fallen said right now.
But look, just a few thoughts. I mean, incredible performance by Luminosity, captain's performance. Everything went right on that second map.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, that double op setup, which we always have to start talking about with Luminosity, because they are bringing it out on basically every map they play on the defense. Yeah. And he's exactly right. They have these ops position in situations where no matter where on the map the offense tries to go, they're going to run into an op. And if you can't stop one, it's just going to pick you off, relocate. It's just going to whittle down your forces, and you're just losing way too many bodies to have anything to do at the end of the round. It's so dangerous to have to go against.
Yeah, no, we've been doing. Sorry to cut you off.
I wanted to mention they seemed really good with their economy too. I didn't see a scout on Fallen at all. I didn't see match 7. They didn't.
That's what happens when you don't lose a round.
Even when they lost pistol round first map, and lost the next 2 rounds, but they actually saved. Usually they would go for like a buy, but they saved for that double op setup off the bat. Yeah. That shows me that they had a game plan going into this, that they're going to use it a lot more.
Brazilians had to go with the economy. He should also run for office, in my opinion. Anyway, we've been picking out man of the match, the person who performs well. This one caused a little bit of an argument, so we're going to be bringing you now the blazing hot player of the match presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. It could have been Fallen, but we've decided to go with Cold Zero. Monstrous performance on the first map. Some of the highlights from here. 34 kills overall. And he was comfortable on train, but you can see this was the moment of truth. Just absolutely slamming him apart with the orb there. And
he's so versatile and what he can do as well.
This was amazing.
I mean, this is just ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, it also comes down, this is like, for all we talked up Luminosity, we didn't talk about their one strength, which is the fact that, you know, even Cold, if he slows down a little bit on that second map, they have Fur right there to pick it up. Now, it could have been Fur as well, because he really propels him to that 16-0, but the fact that this map was so close, that he had so many important rounds down the stretch of that overtime match, you know, he just gets the nod.
I mean, look, anyone who gets 50 kills on 2 maps is a world-class player. And we were talking about Cold Zero just a little bit at the start. This is one of the best players in the world right now. Some people say the best, while Olaf Meister is taking a break due to his injury.
I agree with that 100%. I believe that right now he is the number 1 player in the world. Just even when Olaf comes back, he still has a ways to go because Olaf was the number 1 player in the world on the number 1 team in the world. He brought that team to number 1. That's what Cole did for this team. So I feel like he is number 1 player in the world. And like you said, having 50 kills on 2 maps, and one of them was a 16-0. So the fact that he, the bulk of his was in the overtime one, but still, that's an amazing performance by him.
Yeah, and just a few final thoughts about Renegades maybe bouncing back.
Yeah, it's just, downhill from here. A couple North American teams you can go against, get right back on that horse.
Yeah. No wonder they were
the
giving you
liquid
daggers
horse,
in the green room backstage. Thanks a lot for your thoughts, gentlemen. We're going to go to a quick commercial break now. When we get back, we're going to have a North American derby. It's going to be Team Liquid versus Cloud9. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one. See you soon.
Chris Puckett backstage right now with Liquid Hiko. Hiko, you're about to play off against Cloud9 here on the main stage. You have some history playing against this other American team. What's the team's confidence level going into this matchup?
It's pretty good. We've played against them a lot recently. We beat them in Austin. I think the last time we played them was online last week, a couple days ago actually, and we actually lost. So did some work preparing for this. It's my old team as well, so there's definitely kind of a grudge match here. Definitely trying to win this as bad as we can.
And when you look at this Cloud9 team, you've been able to beat them on land. What problems do they cause online, and who do you need to shut down?
Stewie, 2K is usually their main firepower. Anytime he goes off, anytime he makes his plays and gets his kills, it's really hard to try to counter what they do because he's so individual, he's so just aggressive. So I think we talked about what we can do about it. We're going to try to shut him down, and then hopefully the rest just falls into place.
Top 4 at the major. Right now you're playing in a group with just 4 teams. What's your goal for the group here?
Make it out first place seed. I mean, as we're talking right now, it's looking like Luminosity might drop a map to Renegade. So if that happens, it's definitely possible that we can make the first place seed.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you get back to the match. Go practice with the team. We'll see you soon.
So there you have it. That was Puckett talking to the legendary Hiko from Team Liquid a little bit early today. There he is on your cameras at home. This is the opening day of E-League, and we've already had some incredible sights. I'm your host, Richard Lewis. We've still got Moses on the desk. There he is, just, again, feeling pretty smug.
Yeah.
No one does smug like you. We put Mo in the timeout corner. We thought we'd give you a break from his particular brand of analysis, and we've brought in a long-standing columnist, a commentator. You've done a bit of everything, haven't you? It's Dus Moret.
Yeah, it's great to be here. I'm a little jealous I didn't get to ride the Totoro on the way here to the back wall, but I'm happy to be here.
Got to do it in rehearsal.
Yeah, or maybe tomorrow. We'll figure it out.
Maybe tomorrow, but it's great to have you here, Dust. And who better to join us because you are both experts in the clown fiesta that is North American Counter-Strike. So, and just for the people at home, if they're thinking that's a bit mean, I'm telling you, it hasn't been a particularly good 18 months for North American.
24 months, 36 months.
Yeah, just keep going. We keep going.
It.
But these are the two teams that, if anyone you would say is going to break away and start flying that American flag, the Stars and Stripes, proudly, it's going to be one of these guys. So tell us about these two teams.
Actually, I mean, it's pretty interesting. Cloud9 is that team that's kind of carried the crown for a while. You know, they've been the flag bearers, the standard bearer for the North American region, and they've been on like a decline. Not only as a team, but individually. These players like Skadoodle a year ago was a guy who was in the argument for the best opper in the world. Now he's just kind of, now we're even wondering if he's best opper in the region. Liquid, on the other hand, for almost like 3 seasons, for almost like a year now, I guess it would be, this is a team that everyone's expected to make that leap and be the next big North American team, and they've never been able to grab it. They have the players, they have the tools, they have just never had the results to back up saying they're the best team in North America. So it's two teams who are caught in this really awkward limbo at the moment and also dealing with a lot of roster issues.
And Team Liquid, Dust, we saw them at the major semi-finalists, and they had something like, was it they had 15 map points, match points potentially against Luminosity, the team we just saw? I mean, they were so close to something incredible.
Yeah, and then it happened to them again against NIP at the ESL Season 3 finals on Dust 2. That was a 22-18 game where they had a lead. I think they had like 14-8, something like that. It was a huge lead. And they couldn't close out the game. It's like the PTSD dog just came in and it was like the flashes of the meme or whatever. You know, Cold Zero just looming over them like, ha ha ha, I still got you, no, I'm not playing, right? And it happened to them online as well. They had a lead against Cloud9 in the ECS on Dust 2 again, and they couldn't close it out there either. They lost that game. So
are you saying they're chokers, though?
They are choking, especially on Dust 2 quite a lot, which is something we have to think about, as that is, you know, a potential map that could be played here.
Yeah, it's one of their favorite maps. Yeah, they can't win it.
Yeah, it turns out.
Brilliant. Why not?
That's North American CS in a nutshell. But let's talk a bit about Cloud9. We talked about roster swaps as well. We got Cloud9 trying to blood some newer players. Stewie 2K famously was their pickup, but now we've got the in-game leader, Slemmy. He's somebody that's new and maybe doesn't have a lot of kind of status, but Cloud9, they resoundingly backed him. They said this is the guy that is going to lead us back to glory. Do you think that's true?
I think more so that pickup just said Nothing is not the guy who's going to lead us back to glory. That was a move that's entirely predicated on getting Nothing back to being free of having to do any kind of in-game leading. Slummy, I mean, him and Irakaji can work together, find some tactics and everything, but he's not this high-level in-game leader, at least not yet. Maybe he develops into something. I think that's a long shot. But this is entirely designed just to give Nothing that freedom that he wanted. I think what's interesting about this team is they are one of the few teams over the past year or two that's made those risky pickups of young, players who haven't proved anything, who haven't been on the scene. They went and got Shroud before he'd really been in a professional lineup. He's worked out for them. They went and got Stewie, who'd never even played competitive. He had one competitive season under his belt. And then they have Slemmy, who's never played at a professional level either. So they make these 3 pickups. I think Stewie, actually, he's made massive progress. In the next 2 or 3 months or something, he very well could be the best player on this team.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen how Stewie's developed. Dust, he's really come alive. What I think's been interesting is that he was a player who seemed to lack discipline in terms of how he played. He used to make these really strange, aggressive pushes when perhaps the rest of his team needed him to hold, and it would ruin the whole tactic, especially on the defensive side. Seems to have ironed those bad habits out of his game.
They're at least more coordinated now, right? I mean, they still happen for sure, but now the team's more on the same page. I mean, one of the things that I have noticed, even when Irakaji came on as a coach, and it's continued with Slimmy, they have slowed things down a little bit. They're still pretty aggressive, but they're starting to get more into that default role. They've really been able to kind of just get everyone, working together a little bit better. And Stewie's a big part of that. He's not just pushing, YOLO through smokes all the time anymore. And he's also opened up his op game. And I think that's what's been big for this team, is that he's that secondary opper, behind Skadoodle, especially on the CT side of maps like Dust 2 and Cash, which again could be maps that we see. He's been vital to them getting CT rounds because of his ability to be able to use that gun. So that's another big thing about him. Yeah, he's really developing well, I feel.
Well, we're talking about the players. Let's look at the lineups of completion. We're going to start with Team Liquid for you, and you can see here it is a star lineup, but not as much of a star lineup as it was when Simple was in the team. But tell us about these 5 players, Moses.
Well, I mean, the two big names here. Well, two names that are really crucially important to this team's success: Elysian, Nitro, really good pair of players. They're aggressive. They're like the entry guys on this team. Hiko, who's been long-standing, one of the best players in North American CS:GO history.
Looks like the Undertaker.
Yeah, I don't know what exactly he's doing up there, but he's having a good time. But I mean, he really needs no introduction. One of the best clutch players we've seen in CS:GO history across the world, not just the region. Dren, the guy that there's a lot of question marks surrounding this one. He was cut, he was brought back, had a very good major. They're trying to make this work. And then Kusta, also another question mark for this team. Young pickup they've brought in. You and I, Richard, we've talked about his potential, his skill sets, and it hasn't quite materialized yet. I think this is actually going to be this season of this this week, I guess it would be. It's going to be very important for him.
I've no doubt we're going to talk a lot about Kusta because they talk about unfulfilled potential. But as you can see from your screen, these are some epic plays from the man Hiko, who is the foundation of this team now. He's the oldest player in the lineup. He's had some kind of input into the tactics. He's the secondary caller. He's the lurker. He's the clutch player. This is the guy that when things start going wrong, it's up to him to really dig them out of the hole.
Oh, he's also the guy, he's also like the ruthless player in North America where he flat out just wants to win. There's never any question. He was on Cloud9 when they were the best team, and he made a decision to leave them preemptively. When he saw the fall coming, he got out quickly, and he wanted to go on to other teams that had higher ceilings. So he's the one who's not afraid to make roster changes, even though it might hurt a friendship, even though it might hurt a relationship. He just wants to win.
And he said, I did an interview with him on my first day here at Turner, and he said to me, he goes, if I don't win a big trophy before I retire, my entire career has been a waste of my time. Yeah. That's a horrible thought right there, isn't it?
It is, but it just shows how passionate he is about this game and how dedicated he is to being successful, which is something that sometimes lack in the attitudes of a lot of North American players. So he really stands out in that way.
Just a few.
He's also evolved his game a ton. Like when you compare him in 2013 when he was like named one of the top 20 players, I think, from HLTV, you look at him now, he's so much more active. He's not just the lurker anymore. Now you do see him getting involved and taking control of certain areas of the map. Particularly on Cash, he's involved with mid control. He's involved at coming out the door and entering the A bomb site. So I think he really has kind of evolved as the game has as well. And that's good to see that he, isn't stubborn, right? He's been able to develop his game.
Well, let's have a look at the C9 roster in completion as well on your screens. You'll be able to see that. They've gone through a lot of changes. We did highlight that. But there's some familiar names here.
Yeah, obviously there's, you mentioned Stewie already, but Shroud, familiar names you could say. See him all over Reddit, but one of the strong riflers. He much as some of the other players that we always talk about in North America, one of those players that's high skill set, hasn't fully realized it quite yet, hasn't fully found a consistent, center for himself. Skadoodle, we mentioned, one of the best offers of the year last year. He has not been in the swing of things, and then there's Nothing, who they just freed up with this pickup of Slummy. Looking at what this guy can do, the skill set he has, it's very unique. And they're going to rely on him now, especially when you make a pickup like Slummy, where it's not going to be on fragging power. Nothing is, it's so crucial, it's so important that he has an impact on these games.
Yeah, real talk though, Dust. You can see Nothing when he's on his game. He's a great player. He's right up there. But let's be honest, he's inconsistent. Some people like to say he's a little bit scatterbrained, can lack focus. Are these fair criticism?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like for Nothing to succeed, you have to have a structured system around him. He kind of has to be like your wildcard player, like your JW. That's one of the reasons why Cloud9 were so successful in the summer of 2015. It's because you had everyone else's role so set in stone with like a dedicated entry fragger, Skadoodle obviously opting, Shroud being that star rifler. And so Nothing could just kind of slot in. He could just be like maybe that one little push forward that kind of tilts you over the edge to get you wins. And now that he's able to focus on fragging again, lurking again, Slimmy's leading, but I think as the roles get more established, maybe he will be able to start getting some of those performances again.
All right, then. Well, thanks for your thoughts, gentlemen. So that's the players that are going to be playing in this awesome series. We're going to take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to bring you the action of Cloud9 and Team Liquid. Welcome back to E-League. So we are about to get into a North American derby, Team Liquid versus Cloud9. We got Moses and Dus Moret here. They're going to talk us through this one. So we need to start thinking about maps, where it's going to go. Do you guys have an inkling? I certainly hope so.
Yeah, I mean, these two teams are very easy. Both teams prefer to play Dust 2 and Cash. It's like each team, it's like their two favorite maps, and that's what we're going to have in this series. So, I mean, that's at least a really awesome matchup to see both of these teams. I mean, they're the two maps they want, the two maps they're best at, and they want to clash on them.
Yeah, there's no surprises here. I mean, Inferno used to be Liquid's big band. Now Inferno's gone, so they just put Nuke right into its place, basically, and Cloud9's been known to get rid of Mirage, so I don't really see any surprises here. Dust 2, Cash, Cobblestone, those seem to be the three maps that these guys historically play quite a lot, so you get two of those three right here, so, you know, as you said, no real surprise.
And Team Liquid have had some very good results on Dust 2. It is a map that they do like to play. But again, we must stress that the Team Liquid that was rolling teams like Fnatic, etc., this is a very different roster.
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, there was Simple in there at the time, who was a big piece of that puzzle of success that they had at the major.
The biggest piece.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say the biggest piece.
I would.
The scary part now is, I mean, they're bringing back Adren is my biggest question mark. And it doesn't even come down to any kind of skill level. It just is like, he had a great major, but that was a peak, you know, and then they brought him back based off that hype. It's confusing now. How do you function when you've been cut from a team and you're brought back? That just has to feel like it'd be so awkward in that.
Well, I think actually what it's done is, in my opinion, it's validated his position. He's now working very closely with a new coach that they brought in, but he's coming up with the tactics. He's the in-game leader. And now I think his authority isn't questioned in the team where maybe it once was. He seems to be a much more respected figure the second time round.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's one of those things where they valued him for being able to be a supportive player and be like another mind on the team. You know, Hiko and Adren are usually separated on the map. You know, they're usually playing the extremities on opposite sides, and so it's about Adren being able to be like a key communicator on what's going on this side, while Hiko's able to do it on the opposite. And so I think that's part of it. I think slowly you will see Peacemaker just, you know, continue to kind of take more and more control of this team over time. Eventually he will be the shot caller, and maybe that'll free up Adren the frag as well as he did at MLG when he wasn't leading at that. I mean, we can all hope, I suppose, but we'll just have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, well, just quickly, we talked to the young Stewie 2K from Cloud9 about his thoughts about this match. We know he can be a little controversial firebrand at times, a bit of a naughty, cheeky boy. Let's see what he had to say for himself.
All right, guys, Chris Puckett here backstage with Stewie 2K from Cloud9. Stewie, you're about to play your first match against Team Liquid. How do you feel coming into this matchup going up against another American team?
Definitely can't underestimate them. I feel like we're probably top of NA, like the true NA blood. We're a back and forth team. They beat us on LAN, we beat them online twice, but I'd say beating us on LAN would be a bigger accomplishment.
Well, now you got a chance for revenge. Of course, that last LAN match was back at DreamHack Austin. Now you get a chance to play them here in the Turner studio. Is there any added pressure here playing with all the lights and cameras on you?
Not really. Personally, I don't think there's any pressure on me, but team-wise, I feel like we need to just come out fearless and come out with more confidence.
Coming out with more confidence, always going to be key. Now, we have seen massive improvements not only in your own personal game, but in Cloud9's game as a whole. What have you guys been working on since we've seen you last?
We just got to work on our mistakes and talk about holes, and we just got to sit down and talk to each other and just set differences aside, just work as a team.
And when you look at this Liquid squad, who's the player that Cloud9 is going to be focusing on shutting down?
All of them, honestly. We're not afraid of them, and I'm sure they're not afraid of us.
All right, well, Stewie, thank you for your time. Best of luck in your match, man.
Thank you.
And there you have it. That's exactly why this guy comes across as so lovable and likable in North America. Not a lot of respect for his opponents there, but I guess that's a good mindset to have when you've got to go head to head.
It's about time. Yeah. Get that no respect attitude. I like it, especially for a young guy. Just, I mean, and it wasn't even like really that cocky. It was just it just seemed very confident, which is good out of a young player who's just getting his, you finish with his first stretch as in the pro scene. But I mean, unfortunately, it's not Stewie that's going to dictate, because they've got to have loftier goals than being the best team in North America. I mean, this Cloud9 organization, this Team Liquid organization as well, they've spent enough time battling for the crown of North America. They need to aim higher. These teams have higher expectations. So it's not just Stewie that needs to step up, who's been having good. It's going to be guys like Shroud. It's going to be guys like Skadoodle. These guys need to get more consistent in how dominant they can be on the map.
Yeah, I mean, would you agree with that? Is there anything to add in terms of where Cloud9 need to be? I kind of agree. I think saying #1 in North America, it doesn't really mean a whole lot when you translate it to how deep and strong the overall competitive Counter-Strike scene is right now.
I mean, not when you got Brazilian teams competing in the NA region now who are dominating it, right? So, you know, you're the #1 NA team, but you're not even the #1 team playing in the region, so that's kind of a problem. But, I mean, I guess it's a starting point, right? But as he said, you know, you got to have guys like Shroud and Skadoodle perform. That's the problem. Shroud's been so hit or miss. He'll have a game where he looks like a monster, but then he'll have a game where he looks like a boat anchor. So he needs to, like, figure out a way to get more involved and be more consistent.
I will say this at least. Liquid picks up Peacemaker, and he's going to be this new coach. He's eventually going to have this full-blown leadership role. He's going to be the guy that they turn to for anything. I don't see anyone on Cloud9 who can do that, because one of the big criticisms of this team, especially, and I'm going to highlight Skadoodle because I think he's such an important player for this team, is he is so immobile on maps. He needs to be more aggressive. He needs to be more assertive with his AWP. It's at the point now where Stewie's a more aggressive opper, and he's not even supposed to be. Skadoodle is the one opper who's at one time been considered like one of the best in the world, who has never had this desire to take over games. He's never had this desire to exert his will upon his opponents. And he needs someone behind him that's going to say, Skadoodle, it's time.
Yeah, and I agree with that. You know, he's been in some of the best lineups North America have produced, and he was a bona fide superstar at one point, but he just plays way too scared for me now, and I just don't think that's a good quality for your AWPer to have.
Yeah, you're definitely right. I mean, I have seen some strides in the right direction. I noticed, like, on Cobblestone, for instance, he's more involved in opening up the B-bomb site with the op, where he never used to take initiative. So, I mean, and we have noticed that he has slowly gotten better, right? I think we've begun to pick up on some of his most recent online play, and LAN play has looked a bit better than when people felt that he was kind of slumping towards the very beginning of the year. So hopefully he's coming out of it, right? That's what, you know, Cloud9 is really going to need from him.
All right, well, thanks a lot for your thoughts, gentlemen. We're about ready. It is the North American Derby. It is Team Liquid versus Cloud9. We're going to do our map fly through of Dust 2, the classic Counter-Strike map, and it's going to be brought to you by Anders and Semmler.
All right, well, we are ready, and what a way to get started here. I mean, we're seeing different maps, different teams. Dust 2 being played now, the absolute classic Counter-Strike map, of course. And are you ready for this one, Semmler? Cloud9 or Team Liquid? Do you have an opinion?
Well, I mean, given Liquid actually won that knife round, they get to decide which side they want to start on, and they will be on the T side. So we had to see, you know, is Liquid with Kusta, you know, with the likes of Hiko going to be able to take control, set the pace in this map, or will it be Cloud9, the team who seems to be favored on the map? Will they be the ones doing the work here? I mean, I've got all of my faith in not Skadoodle, not Shroud, but in Stewie. To me, Stewie is the standout player on Cloud9, so I'm really looking at him to see big plays coming from him.
All right, well, it's going to be Elige going down first, and that's to nothing in the middle now. They're going to try for the push out long, and this is not working out. Cloud9 simply denying Liquid any kind of a chance to make a play. And actually, this round started off with Nitro getting shot from the middle of the map as well, down to, well, I think sub 20 HP. So Adren here, that we've been talking a little bit about, who's definitely surprised a lot of people recently, not going to have any chance to make it out of this round. It will be 1-0 for Cloud9, and a good start for them indeed. And I mean, already, Solo, we're seeing sort of a core feature of this map. Just for anyone new watching, you can spot each other down the middle of the map. And when they get sniper rifles, that will obviously be a huge thing. So yeah, just wait for that.
You've got that long line. You can see where the terrorists spawn all the way into the CT. It can be brutal sometimes. That's where the oppers basically get to show just how quick they are, their reactions, because they've only got that little gap when they see the players jump across, and they'll try and react in time and tag them. But what I'm wondering right now out of Liquid is, you know, how are they going to be adapting to this new in-game leader who is trying to be the caller for the team? Whenever that happens, whenever you change up a caller, there's so many moving parts that have to realign that we might actually see Liquid be a little clunky here to start things off. And that pistol round kind of just felt like it didn't go their way. We have to see what happens in the rifle.
It's a good setup right now for Cloud9. It looks like Liquid are trying to see if they can maybe make this catwalk push work, and they should be able to get the bomb down here, but I doubt they'll win the round. Cloud9 shouldn't lose anyone in this push, so even as the bomb goes down here, they should be able to retake it quite nicely. It's a great smoke coming out, but you see Slemmy picking up too, and Liquid, they don't have any utility to hold on to the bomb side with, and this is actually an important sort of point about Dust 2, is that you can get the bomb down in this bomb side, but holding it is a completely different matter here, and the MP9 is Stewie doing a little bit of work here. He killed the last man alive. He does get... Wow! Did he just flick onto Stewie? Man, Hiko has got the most ridiculous reactions, doesn't he? Some would say inhuman.
I mean, what was really interesting about that strategy right there is that they actually made a tunnel of smokes, Liquid. That was actually a really clever strat. I love to see it. You know, we don't really see much innovative use of smokes in that way, right? Where you use it to just run through. You're blind the whole way, but you're running through, and then, oh, surprise, you pop out somewhere. This time around, Liquid actually used it so that they can guarantee that bomb getting onto the catwalk, because you can plant for catwalk on the other side of the box. So all the guy has to do is just run, holding mouse 1, and boom, he just starts planting the bomb. He doesn't need to see that. So that was really cool from Liquid. It guaranteed that bonus money coming in when they lost the round eventually.
Smoke to cover the middle, which is a very common theme as well, just to try and make sure you can deny any kind of information to the terrorist team. But of course, Cloud9 with a 2-0 lead right now, they're going to go aggressive at top mid here. So this, well, Liquid actually see it coming, but that's still very annoying. Now they have almost no map control.
Yeah, now it's, they're split in half. So there isn't a whole lot that they can hope to do here. Bomb is going to get to make its way out through long, where they have some form of control. Nitro is now trying to push up to that site, but the rotation has already come through here for Cloud9, and this should be easy work for Skadoodle. Spot the first man out, and Slemmy will rob him of the second kill. So a very solid 3 rounds here for Cloud9. Still some success for Liquid, and that is great because it means that Kusta, he'll be able to have that AWP, and he can go full AWP Kevlar here if he wants. Might choose to skimp on the nades. He could go glass cannon. He has some options, but no. He goes straight for the helmet, so he doesn't want to mess around in case one of these M4s comes around and actually, manages to bop him on the head.
Well, also the fact that he gets the long spawn, so he spawns the closest to the long position, and he's going to be able to run straight there and take a fight with Skadoodle on the other side. So already we're going to see this, and oh, Kusta just a little bit too quick. Skadoodle was actually in the angle already, but you can peek with the AWP like that, and it works out fine for Liquid.
That was sick. That was beautiful. I thought that he messed up his bunny jump or something because he pulls out that AWP really early. But no, he just wants to guarantee, I've got the angle lined up, I'm pre-firing that spot, boom, Skadoodle is dead. Skadoodle doesn't even know what hit him. And so now they have the man advantage here in this key round, but Shroud has picked up the op and he takes out Nitro. And well, Liquid, they continue to press forward out onto long, and it's going to come down to Slemmy here holding in pit. He already gets shot in the face, and he goes for the jump. Great punish coming in from Elige, and Adren actually there to shut down Shroud as well.
I don't think Slemmy realized the top of his face would show when he made that jump. Stewie pushing up behind, that's a great kill on Hiko. That might actually give them a chance in this round, because they're already a man down here, and it's going to be hard for them to stop the bomb from going down. They do have a little bit of utility, but they're going to have to play for a retake here, I think.
Or unless they can get a kill immediately, look to save the guns. And that might actually be what ends up happening, because you have nades there for Liquid. The first flash goes out, and that's actually the last flash. So they are out of nades, and well, Cloud9 obviously going to make use of theirs. There's the spot, though, as Ren knows that they're pushing on the catwalk. He's going to make use of their own smoke. Cloud9 now regretting perhaps that they've actually put that out, because Elige from Goose will pick up the first kill, and now it's nothing, all on his own. Elige with both kills, 3 total in the round. But Liquid are on the board. That first rifle round just worked marvelously well, and all of this, right before the smoke blooms. That was a great shot from Kusta to start off the round.
Yeah, it definitely was. And I mean, Cloud9, the second smoke that goes down on that bomb site, it also does, if they had won the fight on the A bomb site, then they could have used that to defuse with. So I mean, it sort of was a good idea, but just didn't work out at the end. They will have enough money to buy, but only for this one round. If they lose in this round, then Liquid are just going to be right back in the driver's seat. So still very early, obviously, but Liquid not really, I think, showing any signs that they're under some sort of pressure right now. They're feeling good.
No, they are definitely. I mean, it's so early on in the map, right? But it is good to see if they're willing to go ahead and take those fights straight up. That was a very smart play from Adren staying alive on the side of the last round, and I like to see that too. Not just, going out there and getting over-aggressive. You're looking for smart CS here if you're going to get the job done. And so Liquid now, they've kind of scoped everything out. They have given up on Upper Dark, but Hiko's making his way in there now. A bit of a delay, but there is a window, for example, for Stewie to try and push in there. If he really wanted to go aggressive, there could have been something waiting for Hiko. And so you can see that's why he's taking his time moving in there, because they've lost control of that part of the map. Liquid, again, focused on long.
Shroud and Skadoodle, they do have the crossfire setup here, and it's gonna be a little bit tricky to break it, because Skadoodle's gonna be taking all of their attention early on with the AWP. And that means Shroud should have a bit of an opening. They're trying their hardest to smoke him out of this position. That's 2 smokes down. But Skadoodle just playing around them right now. And that's important, otherwise Shroud has no chance at all. Skadoodle looking for the shot, not quite getting it. Now Shroud, they know he's in that pit. That Molotov comes out. He's going to try for the repeat once again here. Gets the first shot in. Skadoodle there trying to help out. He gets a kill on Adren as well. Now 4 versus 3 here. Cloud9 making it work down on long.
This is so scary though, but Skadoodle, he will be able to pick off Nitro. Kusta and Hiko, the last 2 alive. One of them on catwalk, one of them towards long. But of course, Kusta has to realize that Shroud is still here, and Shroud just jumps, confirms that he spots Kusta, and so Cloud9 have all the information necessary. Now it's all about this man staying alive, and there's the first big shot. Hiko with the flank, he's gonna take out Skadoodle, and they take too much time, Cloud9. Liquid, they worked it perfectly, but they only have have 8 seconds left to get this bomb plant, and it's so important that Hiko holds the line.
What are you doing, Costa?
Why did you?
Counter-terrorists win.
Right. So he throws a Molotov, and it takes about 4 seconds to get that bomb planted. So he throws the Molotov, and that ends up costing Liquid the round.
In the interval between 5 and 4 seconds, when you're halfway through that, then you have to press the button to do the plant. So this is where it dies. That one throwing of the grenade. Oh my lord, that is not how you want to start off a match or at this level here. That's just not a lot of fun.
Oops. Sorry guys. We'll do that again.
Yeah, and you've got to think of the pressure as well. Like, Kuster is not someone who has a lot of experience playing at a top level. He knows, immediately he knows that, oh, that was a big mistake now, but he has to try and forget it, just move past it. And hopefully his teammates are able to do that as well, to say, look, it doesn't matter, we'll win this game anyway, You can't think about it for more than a couple of seconds.
Well, luckily for him, he's still got that AWP, and so we'll see if he's able to put that to use. Wouldn't have had the money otherwise. Hiko not able to see Slemmy, even though there's the outline there. That's just the X-ray. That's what we get to see as observers. The players can't see anybody like that through the walls. But now Liquid are looking to change things up. It's looking like a split to B here, or at least they're going to get that mid control working out together as a pair, Nitro and Kusta. And well, Kusta, he's going to have the chance to go for a flick here in a second. If Shroud keeps jumping around trying to get info in mid, Kusta, he is fast enough to hit that shot, and oh, he unscopes. There's CSGO in a nutshell. He unscopes just as Shroud peaks.
Yeah, but this is still working out great right now, in spite of the fact that Cloud9 had 3 members stacked in this bomb site. Shroudy can't get that reload in time, and 4 versus 2 right now. Skadoodle and Slemmy, they shouldn't even be thinking about it here. Just give up on this retake. So, again, there's so much to talk about right now, but, we talked about how on the A bomb side, it's perfectly possible for the terrorist side to get the bomb down, but have a hard time holding it. It's the exact opposite on B. Once the bomb goes down, even if you're a man down on the terrorist side, you can still win these rounds. So that's why Cloud9 immediately give up on that retake. There's no reason to try and fight for it. They need the money anyway.
And you can see why. Hiko, he's looking at one of the entrances onto the site. That's window, is what we call it. And it's just a very small, narrow gap. And then the doors that are right next to it, those are the 2 entries from, CT spawn from mid onto that site. So you get funneled in as the CT side. So it means that one terrorist can just sit there and catch you as you're trying to run through as a group. It's very difficult to do, which is why we always say that you need to get at least like 1 kill going into that retake to give yourself a chance if you're the CT retaking.
And something else unusual about that round is that Liquid were allowed to walk all the way into middle without being challenged. That doesn't normally happen. There's almost always at least 1, sometimes 2 on the CT side that will spot that early. So you could say Cloud9 had very, very late notice that there was going to be a push in that part of the map.
Well, we're seeing some good versatility here from Liquid. They've trained Cloud9 to worry about A long, and then boom, in a round that matters, Liquid, instead of going towards A long, which is what they've kept doing so far, they go towards B. Kusta, this time had the spawn for B, goes for an aggressive peek, but it's not given a target. This time Cloud9, they've made the change. They're like, right, okay, you need to go out mid sometimes? Great, we're going to set up a crossfire, nothing, hoping to get lucky there, not going to happen, and Nitro there to take out Shroud.
Yeah, they really didn't have a lot of equipment here. I mean, they saved the 2 Masters, but everyone else is just on pistols, so you can't expect too much out of a round like this one. Maybe a bit of damage there. Stewie picking up a good kill on Nitro, who has not had the best game yet for himself. And the 2 Masters again. Maybe if they get a really quick kill, if someone from Liquid is silly enough to go and fight right now, there would be maybe a reason to go for it. But if another 5-10 seconds go past and nothing happens, why try and fight it?
I think this should be more about saving guns than anything.
Yeah, there's an AK right there.
Exactly, right? Go, save the gun, grab it. Nobody's going to be peeking on Liquid. They shouldn't be making elementary mistakes like that. So pick up any of the rifles that have been dropped. That would be an upgrade for the FAMAS, or
none.
Or just save the FAMAS. That's an option too. It works. It's not as good as saving an AK. There it is. Okay, Scott found the AK eventually.
Oh, Slemmy looking for some exits here. Might be able to catch one out. Oh, well, that was Kusta with the AWPs. That fight is closed out fairly early. And Liquid back up to 3 and 4 in spite of that 1 round. I mean, this could have been 4-3 in their favor if Kusta hadn't been so anxious to play with fire.
Yeah, to get that, especially with Hiko watching that angle. Just perhaps some miscommunication there. Nerves coming into it. Might not realize just how little time you have to work with on that clock as well. But, hey, Now it's all about keeping their focus. And Cloud9, I mean, this is a great chance for Liquid to build some confidence because Cloud9, again, they only saved the AK, and then the rest of them, it's a half buy, right? They're investing a little bit in pistols, a little bit in nades, but there are no other rifles on the board here for Cloud9. So this is a great chance for Liquid to just power through here and do some damage.
Yeah, and they insist on this long fight once again, and great spray transfer from Hiko, shutting down Shroud, just continuing with the AK there. Pretty hard to control the AK spray, but Hiko making it look quite easy. Stewie is going to be going down. Hiko with the triple kill and a tied scoreline now at 4-4. And right now, Liquid is looking like the far superior team, I've got to say.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, what was that spray transfer from Hiko?
That was good, wasn't it?
That was sick. A headshot, full spray with the AK, that is not easy to do. There's thousands of hours of muscle memory at work right there. Well, tied up 4-4, and now this is where it gets interesting. Cloud9, they have the AWP on Ska, but he has no gear. He's had to skimp on his Kevlar. The rest of them are skimping on helmets as well to afford the nades and the kit on Shroud. And once again, a hard focus on A long here for Cloud9 to start things off. They do not want Liquid to be able to power out there again and get control of that part of the map. Liquid instead, no early aggression from them. They've just taken their time, gone default, and it looks like they want to go out through B mid again.
And once again, they're allowed to walk quite far in here. This is not a good position for nothing to be in if they come through, because the smoke is going to go off here. Actually, to leave a gap, yeah, they're gonna re-smoke that. Actually, double smoking it, which is a bit too much. A bit of a waste of grenades here. Shroud trying to see if he can make a play. Nothing. Gonna get the one kill. Goes for a great double spray down, and Stewie coming out of the window as well. And Liquid may be taking just a bit too long. And well, the rest of the push here not really going to be working out. But you could see what the idea was. If they had got into B, then Hiko, he would have been there to stop the retake instantly. But now we're just waiting for Kusta to see what he could do with the rest of these 55 seconds.
Well, not a whole lot of hope with two guys camped right outside. Skadoodle is there holding the angle, and Skadoodle hits the shot as Kusta. I mean, just way too many angles for Kusta to be worrying about there. So, expected result in the end, and a perfect hold coming out from Cloud9. And that's going to start things off here for their defense. If they keep everybody alive like that, they'll really start building that bank quickly. So the pressure is now shifting over to Liquid to really try and turn this around before things get out of hand over there on Cloud9's economy. 5-4, Liquid still trailing. And Kusta with the mid spawn. This is that, now can he demonstrate how quick he is? If he sees him jumping across, there's the HE. Second man, no, just blind the entire time. So he's not going to be able to spot anybody.
Yeah, and again, it serves sort of a double purpose, right? You obviously prevent yourself from getting killed by the sniper rifle, but you also make sure they can't count how many people cross. Because that's a very important basic information to have if you're on the T side. You want to know how many people are actually running to the B bomb side. If it's just one, you can make some pretty big assumptions about what's going to happen for the rest of the CT setup. So you really need to know early on exactly how many people are there. And those counter-terrorist grenades that allowed them to cross there, just a way of countering that. So this is just all very basic stuff on Dust 2, but it is kind of worth keeping an eye on anyway, because if they forget to do it, or if they miss those grenades, it could have a big impact on the round.
That was a questionable nade there, thrown by Nitro. Just saying.
NA
nades. But
no hesitation.
They still got catwalk control. And so this is all part of the plan, basically, for Liquid. They're looking to eventually push their way up onto Cat and run up onto that A site. And I'm curious to see, actually, if they use the same strategy again here with those smoke nades, creating a bit of a wall. It's looking like it right now, just all of these smokes going down. Shroud is in Goose, though, so this could get interesting. Can Nitro actually make it up here and clear this part of the map out? Turns away, dodges the flash, and there's Shroud with the peek, denies the bomb plant, and he could get the follow-up, but Nitro wins the duel.
That's such an important kill for Nitro, and I have no idea why they didn't check it earlier, because that's the one position they can't count on. The bomb goes down at the exact same second that Nitro dies to that HE grenade. So now, 3 versus 4 here. Slemmy picking up a kill, Kusta and Adren. They're going to have to try and stay alive right now. Adren doing a good job getting the headshot and keeping all of them occupied right now. They got no more smoke, so they can't even smoke off the catwalk here. Kusta could legitimately win this round in a 1-on-3. The Molotov goes out. That's already got to buy some time. He gets the shot with the AWP. Stewie is down. They can't block him off. They don't have any more grenades. Flashbangs are not going to do it. They need more time than that. And now Kusta going to go for the peak, but nothing is just so far up. And it will be around for Cloud9. Really good teamwork here coming out of the CT side. That was not an easy 1v3 for them to win. If they had a smoke grenade, it would have been really easy, but they were out of them.
They didn't have any. I mean, that's what the utility is all about at that point. Kusta, there's only so much that he can do, especially when he got, tagged down so low. He tried to go for, I mean, that was clever from him. He's just trying to show the barrel of the AWP as if he was going to peek to try and pull them off of that bomb. But man was already pushed up in his face, and that just wasn't going to work. So 6-4 for Cloud9. They take the lead. They keep control. They save both AWPs as well. And Stewie is capable of opping. been times where he's been a better opper than Skadoodle. So, you know, now they have that double op setup on Dust 2, which is so strong on the CT side. You can cut this map in half. One op on one side, Skadoodle on the other, towards A.
Yeah, we're going to see here. I mean, I don't know. Suddenly Cloud9 have come alive. You could clearly tell that they were a little bit worried losing what was like 3 rounds in a row or something to Liquid. So I think now they're starting to realize that this can't go on. Everyone on Cloud9 sort of pitching in. I'm mostly excited to see Shroud actually playing quite well at the moment, getting some good kills in here. Slemmy not going to jump like last time. Just a bit of a pop flash going out, and he needs backup, and it is coming as well. Skadoodle rotating in.
Exactly. Ska's going to be there with the AWP. Nice little HE there, just to do a little bit of damage. Single point of damage. That works. Whatever. You know, whatever you can get together. Every point matters. We've seen guys clutch with 1 HP in the past.
Hiko, look at that. He's not even looking to the long corner because he's got a teammate there spotting it already. So he's not afraid to just go and take that fight at the ramp or the pit there. Still a 5 versus 5, and there's 35 seconds left here, Summer. This is going to be such a tight round. The bomb is just in middle right now. This is going to be tough for Liquid, I think.
Yeah, especially because now, I mean, they still haven't got much control. Kusta somehow finds Slemmy, though, but then Skadoodle's still alive on the site. He's getting burned alive, and that's not going to work. Nitro hits the headshot on him, and it's all on Shroud now. And he comes up big. 2 headshots, brings it back to a 3-on-3. Bomb will get planted with 14 seconds left. No mistake this time for Liquid. But the 3-on-3 retake is possible here for Cloud9. They can pull this off. Shroud, however, will get caught out, and now life gets a bit difficult for him. Stewie with the AWP, not the best gun for retaking, but nothing hits a headshot on Hiko, and that could turn things around.
Still a 2-on-2, trying to see if they can make it up the middle here. Not going to try for the boost, just jumping. Kusta takes down one. Stewie with a shot, and Kusta coming through with a triple at the end of that round. Liquid are going to win it, but they were about to make a critical mistake here. Now look how they're all running. If Hiko goes down in that fight, the bomb could drop over the edge and they would have lost the round immediately because there would have been no time left. So I'm glad that Hiko tried to stay out of that fight, but there was like a brief moment where he was close enough to the edge that Shroud could have maybe just destroyed the whole round for him.
Just caught him out, right?
Yeah, that would have been heartbreaking.
Indeed, especially when Liquid were so close, and now, well, they actually managed to bring it back. 5 rounds on the board for them and an eco round. So again, Liquid with an opportunity here to do some damage. Elise just getting into the back line, even spots the man out in pit looking for that headshot, and he will eventually find it. So big plays coming in here from Elise in this anti-eco. Just charging forward, no fear, and I was about to say a full blind kill at the end just to cap things, just to top it off for the quad. But he ends the round with 3. So tying it up 6-6, and now it's whether Cloud9 can hold the line or not, because Liquid are starting to take off a little bit here. 2 rounds in a row.
It's going to feel pretty good for Elige. I mean, it's not like he hasn't done anything for the rest of the game, but certainly coming up with what really was nearly a quad kill, you're right. And tying up the scoreline, AWP on Skadoodle and still on Kusta as well. And once again, Liquid just showing us that they're so aggressive over here at long. They really want to fight for this position.
This is definitely a key part of their game plan coming into this. Get long control, take that away. But Slammy, this time around, he'll hold the line. Shroud is there, putting shots through the smoke, and he eventually gets taken out by Elige, who's definitely waking up. But it's a 4-on-4 take now, and Slammy, is he going to find the angle? Yes, he does, but he misses the shot, misses the opportunity. Still trades 1 for 1, taking out Hiko, but it's still a 3-on-3, and this favors Liquid.
Especially, well, they have 3 HE grenades left, and actually that's a bit weird that they don't have any smokes or anything on Liquid, and that could be a big problem. They need to make this cross happen, and as long as they don't have a smoke here, Skadoodle, look at this angle he's got. Normally, you would save a smoke to be able to make this specific cross. That's such a key part of this map. They're trying for it, and actually, instead of crossing, they just toss the bomb across, and that's a really great compromise here. Nitro going to be taking down nothing, and Skadoodle and Stewie, well, the question is, can they play for this retake?
That's so unfortunate for nothing. If he actually picks up that kill, they have a chance. Ska's going to catch out Nitro, so that was a sick angle shot somewhere. Somehow Nitro's just out there.
Also a ridiculous thing for Nitro to try and do. I have no idea why he wanted to do that.
And ACS?
I mean, it looks like they're going to wait around and not actually try and go for the retake, but just look for exit kills here, because too much time has already passed. But if he stays alive back then there's no way they can even retake, so that had to be worried for a second.
Well, they're really worried right now, Cloud9. Look at this. I mean, they are just, they actually have lost control of Longhouse, so that's why they're like, okay, there's another guy who could be up there. We really need to hold on to these guns, and so we aren't going to go peek aggressively. We aren't going to try and actually, retake this site at all. Instead, it's about us staying alive at this point and holding on to our gear. But yeah, Nitro, what was that about? Oh, he was looking to try and flash into mid and try and push for mid, right? He's aggressive, way too aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that he had already seen them and they had seen him, just the fact that they know he's there means how can they retake? You know, they have to worry about getting shot in the back all the time. So just him showing himself is enough that it'll be almost impossible anyway. Well, almost no equipment here on the Cloud9 team as they do try and make a very aggressive push. I love this. Just make use of these rifles and push top mid.
In the hands of Stewie as well. There's Skadoodle looking into lower dark. Elige is going to get caught, and Stewie peeks up, drops Nitro. That's the bomb out in the open, and Stewie, he's still fighting. He picks up a second kill on Hiko, making all the difference, and this round is completely fallen apart for Liquid. Cloud9, they really haven't gone aggressive like this at all, so Liquid getting completely caught off guard.
That was just beautiful, especially that recommit to the spray from Stewie, just taking out Hiko. I have no idea how Hiko didn't get that kill, but that's obviously very impressive. And Adren, I mean, in a situation like this, it almost looks like everyone has stopped playing because they're all just standing still, but they don't need to do anything other than just wait. Let him come eventually.
They have him boxed as well with a man on T-spawn. That's Stewie actually waiting over there with the rifle. And it's a clever angle as well. Look at this. Adren, no idea that the man was lying in wake. And that's the second AWP recovered as well. Just donated. Cloud9, they've brought it back. This is such a touch and go kind of first half. 7-7 the score right now.
I should point out the first kill that Stewie gets here on Nitro. The reason Nitro isn't firing back or reacting is that he's setting up for a smoke that's going to help Hiko get out on long. So they're not even aware, they're not even prepared for it. And that's one of the worst things that can happen. That really takes a lot of confidence away when you're on the terrorist side, that suddenly you don't just have to focus on what your strategy is going to be when you go to a bomb site. You have to worry about, you know, all the rest of the map too, because they're being so aggressive. So I think that's a very smart play from Cloud9. They're taking some charge, they're getting a little bit of control back in this game, and that's what they need to do right now. Tied scoreline and moving into the last round of the half.
Oh, and there we go. Some fear being put into Cloud9. Shroud will bring it back, but Kusta's there, and Shroud still alive. Sick one tap onto Elige. Scream would be proud.
Man, that's the Shroud I want to see, because we know he could do it in all of the online games that don't really tend to matter that much, but I want to see Shroud like this on land. And that was a nice shot coming through. Now nothing alone here in a 1-on-2, and sandwiched in. He's going to end up going down to Kusta, who picks up another triple kill, and this kid has had a very, very good first half so far. That's 8-7 in favor of Liquid. He ends up top fragging, nearly top fragging, 12 kills for him, Shroud on 13. But that's in spite of that one round that he obviously is sort of single-handedly responsible for, but very impressive. We will have a quick break as we get into the second half of Dust 2 here between Cloud9 and Team Liquid. Well, here it comes, the second half here between Cloud9 and Team Liquid for E-League. And it's still day one, Sam, where I can't believe we're actually finally live and ready with this tournament. But I mean, this first half was very close. In fact, close as possible. 8-7, just barely in favor of Team Liquid. But we got to expect right now that that the second half could be very, very similar. I mean, Dust 2 is a map that it's very hard to say which side is favored. It really depends on what your style is and how good you are.
Mm-hmm. No, exactly right. But both of these teams capable of getting that lockdown on the CT side, and we've actually seen a very good side for Cloud9. This is still a T-sided map, and Cloud9 picking up 7 rounds on their CT side is very good work. So depending on how this pistol goes for them, they have a chance to run away with this. It's all on Liquid, and Liquid have laid a trap. Kusta waiting in lower dark, easy shot onto nothing, gets traded by Skadoodle. Great return shot there coming in from Skadoodle to bring it back to a 4-on-4. If Kusta's allowed to get 2 kills in that kind of situation, it all falls apart for Cloud9.
Yeah, but now you gotta wonder, is it worth it here? Because trading evenly almost always favors the terrorist side. Nitro in the back line, he has to get a couple of kills. Backup is too far away here. It's not gonna be there in time. Nitro, you're on your own right now. Hiko trying to see if he can help him out, and he actually gets a frag there, dropping down Shroud and the bomb. Elise taking out another one. Nitro is still alive. No, sorry, he's finally gone down in the back line there to Slemmy, but 2 versus 3. And Liquid somehow managed to go out with just a bit of an edge here in the first pistol round. Stewie looking to see if he can maybe bait someone into taking that peek. You could hear him faking it with the bomb, but they're not biting.
50 seconds, right? So much time to play with. And this is actually allowing for the rotation to come through. They're trying to get that extra man into upper dark at this point, Liquid, but Stewie eventually just has to stick this bomb, and you're gonna have to try and play it out because Liquid are not taking the bait. They're not trying to run in here early on. Instead, it's going to be this delayed flank coming in from upper dark, and Slemmy just out in the open. Easy shots here for Elige. Works out perfectly. Stewie, though, decides to take the fight to him, and he does point blank shoot his Ren in the face, but it's not gonna be enough in the end. Liquid will get the retake, and a lot of that comes from Hiko helping out. Elige and Hiko doing big work in this round.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised that worked out. You know, Hiko getting the 1 kill in the doors there, that slows them down enough and it keeps Nitro alive just a little bit. I mean, they just stay alive for way too long. When they realize that Nitro is alone and isolated in the back there, he should have been gone immediately. They should have been able to just take him out, and it took so long that the rest of Liquid managed to get in there. So really, really good start here for the CT side. 9-7 in their favor. And they go really heavy on the SMGs. Look at this.
They do, actually. But I guess that what they're thinking is, well, Cloud9 got the bomb plant, so they aren't going to be going for the force buy in this round. Instead, they're going to be saving for the next one. It's a little bit of an awkward situation for Cloud9, though, because they have invested. 3 guys have actually gone for utility. Everybody rocking P250s, so they didn't get Kevlar, but they have invested quite a bit in nades this round, so it wouldn't be the strongest round in the next one. Cloud9 are just hoping about getting a bomb plant at this point. They need that bonus $800 on everybody.
So what do they need 3 smokes for?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's curious.
That's usually more than, and the flashes as well. I'm wondering if we're gonna see like another snake type strategy. I mean, maybe it could work out. Elige though is gonna be the first obstacle here on the catwalk, and just looking to see if he can maybe get an early kill on somebody. Again, they don't have armor, so these SMGs will really chew them up quick.
Exactly, that aim punch is gonna come through, and there we go. Elige, he was just waiting to spot out the man. But they aren't fully committing onto the catwalk. Instead, it is going to be that rush straight out onto the B slope, and this is where Nitro is hanging out with the MP9 up close. So many targets that he has to worry about, and yet he is still doing damage. Unbelievable. How is he still alive? Well, I cursed him. Still, he finds the kill on him in the end. But still, 3 kills for Nitro, 2 for Elige. Both of them playing from B slope, and I have no idea how Nitro didn't just get obliterated there close up.
Yeah, that's definitely not easy, is it? Because they're just so close. The smoke sort of fades right in front of him, and then behind it, you got all these people. Look at it fading, and then you got 5 people on the other side. So that could have gone horribly wrong, definitely. Liquid managed to stay alive, and now Cloud9 with the AKs and 2 Galils as well. So not the best buy up here, but definitely reasonable, especially if you look at what Liquid have.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, this buy in the end, I mean, it's coming back to bite them. No, hardly any smokes to speak of. 3 smokes total for Cloud9 to work with here. And they did look like they wanted to at least go out towards long to begin with, but instead, it is going to be just a delayed take over here on catwalk. That smoke goes down to block off the mid doors, so if somebody's peeking in from B slope, they aren't going to spot anything. And now Cloud9 just looking to sandwich in onto this A site.
And I mean, look at what they have to try and stop them with. Elige, he's up in Goosh, but Kusta, he's covering the cross with a scout. That is not the same as having an AWP, and especially not in this type of situation. So Elige, I think a lot rides on him right now. Stewie running out long, not even checking behind him, just spraying down, but he loses the fight. And Elige, he gets 2 kills that he should have never had. Can't believe it.
Where does nothing come from, though? He brings it right back to a 3-on-3. 2 kills for him, and he's still alive and kicking with that Galil. It's Nitro, Hiko, and Adren. 2 kits, couple of flashes to work with. And they have the positioning, except that, look at this delayed take from mid. Back up onto Catwalk here for Cloud9. They could get a big backstab in here. Shroud, are they going to be able to? Well, no, they're coming in from CT, so it's not going to be as effective. They aren't really just going to catch anybody out here for free. Instead, it's Shroud walking up, finding 1 headshot, nothing with the second onto Hiko, and it's all on Adren now pushing forward. He was just a second too late to help his teammates, and, well, that second ends up costing him.
Yeah, that's a quad kill for nothing that we see on the camera here, and I mean a veteran in the scene without a doubt, but someone that has been raised a lot of questions in the panel. We're talking about it too. You know, what's left for him in global offensive? You know, how much back to the top could he really get? Because he is a very erratic player, and he can be, I think, someone who's really hard to play against when he's on good form. But it's hard to know about the consistency. Now Liquid, no armor, no rifles at all, just the pistols here, and Skadoodle doing a really good job spotting out in the middle. That should be a lot of information here. Nothing. Yeah, he's setting up for it as well. Not going to get caught off guard.
No, although he will run out of bullets. A little bit of an opportunity there. Down to 23 HP on nothing. Stewie now looking. He's going to pre-fire. He should pre-fire this angle. Will eventually readjust, and a nice flick onto Nitro there.
Wow.
Second kill. That was so fast. Now, however, does he get caught? Yep, because Adren is there. And Adren's just doing damage to everybody. Headshots all around. Going full Oprah.
I don't think that was ever a feature on Oprah, Samlan.
What? Everybody gets a headshot.
Yeah, I think.
That's what I'm saying here, man.
I think that's much more of a family show than this potentially is. I appreciate it. I prefer the Tyra Banks version of that anyway, where she just goes absolutely insane. It's one of the best clips of all time. Well, we do have a 10-9 scoreline here moving into the 20th round. Liquid again without any money, so another double eco coming in here where they just can't really do anything. I don't know, this is just too close to call. I'm impressed that these teams are playing this closely right now.
This isn't, well, I mean, it is expected, isn't it? Just the fact that they are to the top of the North American scene. Nothing, Shroud, both picking up kills with this shutdown over here on long. And while the delayed take from Stewie making his way up, this is actually looking pretty solid here for Cloud9. Eventually, they do root Nitro out of the pit, and it's the last man alive here. Hiko trying to do the best that he can, hoping to get lucky, but not today. 2 HP left on Stewie, and we've got a tied game now, 10-10. Cloud9 have battled back. They did not give up when things started to go against them. They've definitely shown that they've got some fight in them, and yeah, great spray coming in there from nothing. Good control.
Okay, well now it's going to be a really big stand here for Liquid. They've spent their entire bank that they've had to save 2 rounds in a row to actually get this money. Now they put it all into this round, so it really has to count. A blind shot coming out from Skadoodle, not connecting with anyone, but it's perfectly possible to do that and just have a bit of an early edge. Kusta quick in the middle, and I mean real quick, just basically bouncing in there with the AWP to try and look for a kill, but they're so defensive he hasn't seen anyone yet.
It's a little bit surprising to see. I mean, Cloud9 really showing a lot of deference here, actually. They're eventually going to make their way in, but that's not until somebody actually gets to top mid and can set up a flash, perhaps. Because in general, that's what you'll expect to see when somebody moves into lower dark, which is the lower tunnel there going into mid. There should be a flash or something to help them out from a teammate. But Shroud is on his own. Cloud9 have taken over long right now, so this is some information for Cloud9 to work with. But eventually Liquid, it looks like Liquid are gearing up to push into Upper Dark as well. This is all over the place, man. They're just so aggressive on the CT side at this point. No? Just backing off? Okay, no information.
This is very odd. I mean, they're going to have to try and cover the cross from Catwalk. I don't understand how Liquid's setup is supposed to make sense, except if they're trying to go for a full retake. But the problem is if the bomb goes down for a long plant, and you see Stewie is already back here with the AWP, Liquid could be in a position where they get all the kills, but they can't defuse the bomb because of the sniper. So this is a very risky position for them to be in. Kusta gonna get the 1 kill in there on Skadoodle. Slemmy pushing up a little bit here. He's the one carrying the bomb. Nothing gonna get a kill on Kusta. And now 4 versus 3, and the bomb being planted for Stewie down there. You see him all the way at the edge. He's got the sniper rifle, and now Liquid are in a lot of trouble.
now it's the lockdown for Cloud9. There isn't anything that Liquid can really hope to do unless they can get some big kills. They have a smoke grenade, which we see Elise throwing out now, and a single flash. Although there are 2 smokes, Clever picks one up off of a corpse. Still, 2 players holding on the side itself, and like you said, Stewie with the AWPs. Let's see what they can do. Nitro's gonna pick up one, but Shroud catches him stacked up. Big spray from him, shuts down 2 players, and it's all on a leash. Point blank will remove Slemmy, but still, there's just not enough time. It's taken so long, and Stewie just running all the way out into the middle of nowhere there. That's a bit awkward. No AWP saved either, but, well, I guess nothing has got 14K in bank, so it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, he can make it rain if they need to. Right now, it's, I mean, very impressive round here. Really good patience from Shroud, just lining it up there. Triple kill for him in the round. And that also puts him overall at a good 19 kills, just 1 kill behind nothing. So all I could say right now, Summer, is I want to see this Shroud more. I want to see the Shroud all the time.
Oh, I mean, there's this
I
Shroud.
don't care about FPL Shroud. I want this Shroud.
Well, this is Shroud Stream Shroud? Yeah. I want to see this nothing, though. I mean, Shroud, yes, but like nothing for so long. It's just, you know, never really lived up to the potential or the name, right? That he used to be this monster. Never really saw that from him. Or it just comes in flashes, right?
Yeah.
So if we can actually get a consistent nothing who will map after map, deliver 20 frags, I mean, that's what Cloud9 really need. And then you can have Scott, you can have Stewie or Shroud go ape, and they can actually, you know, just completely lock down rounds.
You know what is going to be the return of nothing, by the way?
Oh.
It's the fact that Nuke is back in the rotation. Just anyone go and watch old, you know, nothing 1.6 clips, and you'll see what I mean.
Oh yeah, because this, come on, man. It's a stretch, right? Oh,
no.
1.6, Duke.
It's true. This is, no, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. Believe me.
Okay.
These things just, they stay inside.
If they change the vents to when, to like, if you have to go through the vents in your crouch,
yeah,
then we'll have the 1.6 nuke back, and then it'll all be good. Nothing will just like shine.
Man, that would be really awkward. But yeah, I'm for it. Here's that smoke that we were talking about finally being used to make the crossing. Nothing standing in the middle of it, just trying to challenge anyone who might come through, which is a real possibility. Looks like Liquid might try and go for a bit of a boost on the other side. Nitro getting the first kill there. That's a good start. They are still a man down in that grenade. Oh, look at the damage. They did not have body armor, and it just wrecks them.
Yeah, basically, take shrapnel, and you all basically die. 20 HP left on Hiko. He turns away for the flash. Shroud, a little bit of a lucky break there that Hiko did not capitalize on that. He gets dropped down to 12 HP. But it's 12 to 10 now as Cloud9 continue to extend their lead, and the bank is still solid for Cloud9, whereas Liquid, after that round of eco now, they actually do have quite a bit of money in the bank, and it is the timeout. So, I like that they actually do this, because for a while their North American teams were saying, well, you know, we like the timeout before the eco round so that we can, you know, like think about what we said in the timeout, and if anybody, you know, decides to change their mind, you know, they have time to say it. No. Eat the eco round, try and do the best you can, sure, but then when you're going into the buy round, hit that timeout and figure out what it is you need to change to have an impact immediately and stick to the plan.
Yeah, and I am very curious what it's going to be here for Liquid, because Cloud9 have shown a lot of promise right now, I think, on the terrorist side. This is starting to tilt in their favor, and
a surprising
Liquid,
amount, right?
Yeah, I think it's impressive what they're showing us right here. And again, it's partly, I think, the fact that it's Shroud and Nothing doing so well right now on the Cloud9 team. That is exciting.
Well, you have that straight aim, right? What I'm wondering is where Liquid are going to decide if Liquid wants to try and play a little bit more towards long right now and go for aim for that retake sort of scenario where that bomb keeps making its way up on catwalk. This time around, I'm kind of curious. It seems like Liquid is more like this time out. It's not so much like we need to change a whole lot about what we're doing. It might be more about, all right, guys, take a breather, take a break, refocus back up again, because you know you have the aim to go toe-to-toe with any of these guys here on this Cloud9 roster. So just, you know, take a breather and reset.
Already we see a bit of a change, or we are going to see a bit of a change here, because I think they're going to invest into the double up setup that we did sort of talk about, and the analyst did come into the game as well, and it's kind of been eluding us so far, right? I don't think any of the CT teams have ever had like enough money to really go for it. It's been a risk all the time to try and go for the double up setup, but I think they might have enough money to try and run with it. So it isn't quite going to be the last chance for Liquid to do something, but when you make this kind of an investment, you really need it to work out. You need to get something back for it quick.
Especially when you're putting all of your bank into it, right? But, I mean, we're seeing it throughout all these replays here, that it's just been a lot of the Cloud9 show so far. A lot of big plays coming in, And Shroud, yeah, you're right, stepping up, but it looks like they are ready. We will be resuming the game on pause. Yep, okay, countdown has begun to get back into this.
Yeah, Nitro and Kusta both with the AWP. Up against Skadoodle with just the 1, so we'll see if this makes a real difference. I mean, this, on the CT side of Dust 2, is a classic setup, and so many games on this map have been won just by those 2 rifles being picked up, so we'll see.
I'm curious. Are they going to go for the peek? No, it's just straight HE, and this is all about timing for Skadoodle. As soon as he sees that HE go off, he's shooting blind there, but he's hoping to get lucky, basically, and hope to gap somebody. Nothing, hoping to get actually a big punish. That was going to be a very aggressive play straight out onto B through Upper Dark. But that perfect flash, and Nitro not going to be able to find the shot. Instead, nothing hits the headshot on Hiko. So Nitro, you're all on your own, and Slemmy will clear him out. Just like that, Cloud9, they haven't gone for an ultra-aggressive B take like that just yet.
And Stewie just snuck into middle as well. He didn't even fight anyone. He just walked in there and
died.
Liquid, they can't do anything.
I mean, eventually he died.
Eventually. But just the fact that he's there, I mean, never mind that the B push worked so well, but if they had had some sort of fight, then Stewie would have been there to clean it all out. So, bit of actually a mistaken Liquid setup there. I mean, no one spotting middle. They weren't prepared for the B hit. Now you gotta wonder, is there any one point on the map right now you could point to and say, well, at least Liquid have that covered, you know? At least they've got this part of the defense down. It doesn't seem like it. It seems like no matter where it happens, if it's an A hit, long hit, B hit, it's all working right now for Cloud9. Well, that's a good job.
And this is only going to give them more confidence, right? There's the shots through, getting lucky in the end. Shroud not going to find the wall bang, but that makes it even more expensive here for Liquid. They will have enough money to go ahead and pass around some rifles, get a force buy going into this, because Cloud9 are now on 13 rounds. And so Cloud9 are within striking distance of picking up this first map. Liquid are the ones who, like you say, man, like they've got to be scratching their heads right now going, well, where is it that we do take the fight and try and win it and hope to run into Cloud9? Because Cloud9, again, right now, they're going back to default. They aren't really, they're just spreading out across the map. Although it looked like they had a spawn to peek into Upper Dark, that is going to be changing.
And how it's the double sniper setup for Cloud9 instead. They steal one of them, try and see if they could maybe make it work against their opponents instead. Yeah, things are getting wildly out of control for Team Liquid right now, and it's gonna feel just a little bit bitter, a little bit sour right now. Salty?
Salty, yeah. Mounds of it. Wow.
The preferred gaming expression.
America, man, they salt everything.
This is true. I've noticed. Well, again, the mid defense here, they are not quite going for it. They're just showing themselves, but it is so. It's so far back. I can't see how they could hold it if it was a B-split push. Now, Catwalk, Kusta is there with the AWP, so this is potentially a much better setup than earlier.
And they've gone back to a bread and butter kind of setup here for Liquid, at least. Elige and Goose, Adren over on long, posted, and Kusta just kind of floating around mid. Elige loves to sit up here in Goose. It's one of his favorite spots on Dust 2. All the way in the corner, right next to the site. And so we'll see if Cloud9 can take advantage of that, because they do have the incendiaries, they have the Molotovs and flashes, so if they can get one over there, life could get pretty interesting here for Elige.
I will say this: it is spectacularly difficult to Molotov the far corner of that Goose spot there. It's very, very hard to do. So see if he can stay alive for a moment. Kusta down here. They haven't spotted him yet. He's gonna miss the shot. Escapes into the smoke, and Adren will be going down. Nothing on the other side. Kusta gonna get that shot. That's a ridiculous angle. Elige will be going down finally, and it's still a 3-on-3 with Skadoodle. Gonna go for the bomb plant here. Hiko and Nitro coming from Catwalk. And this retake is paramount for Liquid.
And it's possible, because look at that plant. Skadoodle does not plant for his teammates. His teammates can't back off to long and play it safe. They have to actually be close to the site. This could get incredibly awkward if Skadoodle dies. And now, man advantage for Liquid going into the retake, and it's all about, can they actually just figure out where Slemmy's coming from? 1v1 now, and the bomb getting defused, and Slemmy just charges forward. All he needs to do is make the noise to keep Nitro off the defuse, and it's just working out perfectly.
Oh, but they're gonna have enough time for it here. Very well played from Nitro. That's a triple kill, and they're barely gonna win the round. I've got to say, I'm a bit shocked that Kusta got that kill as well or nothing. That looked ridiculous.
Not only that, but Ska with 10 seconds left. I guess he was worried they were lacking info. Maybe he thought somebody was holding close on the slope. Why didn't he plant for long?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because he could have planted behind the boxes, you know, towards Cat, but probably just a lack of information that ended up costing him there. That's unfortunate. Cloud9, they were in a position with long control. They were in a position to actually hold that site and just lock it down. Liquid instead are getting a lucky break. So they get another chance at this. 13-11, Cloud9 still in the lead, and Cloud9 going ultra aggressive at long. They haven't done this in a while, so let's see if it's effective, because Liquid, they did put 3 guys over there early on to try and put a stop to this kind of play.
Well, Nitro got tagged through the doors. That's a shot that Skadoodle has been trying for a while, and finally he gets it sort of blind through the doors. You see him dropping down to 36 there. I'm almost a bit disappointed that Shroud didn't continue, you know? He was out on long, he could have maybe tried to make a run for it. Now he's going to go and peek, and Kuzma's up here, gets the shot through, and do they try and challenge him? Yes, they will. Skadoodle, who is already in pit with the AWP, going to be able to trade effectively.
But in the meantime, they've completely pulled the defense off of that B site, Liquid. They're gambling everything on A. They're expecting Cloud9 to be pushing up on A long right now, and instead it's Slemmy lurking in dark to pick off a kill, and now Liquid, they're just like, what the hell's going on? Where are they? Where are these guys? They could be anywhere.
3 versus 4 right now. This could be a really big game for either one. With this round robin format, you really cannot afford to take losses to teams that are in your group. It's going to be so devastating, especially now that Renegades are showing, you know, some sort of form as well. So you never know. You really never know. And Luminosity, obviously the titan of the group now. 3 versus 4 as they make the crossing. Stewie just charging in there in Elige. Not going to have a say in this round.
Beautiful shot from Stewie. And
What's
this time,
Molotov?
That Molotov was right on the edge. And Adren surprised that fire burns.
Yeah.
And nothing is like there, Adren. Nothing will burn you now.
It's all over. Nitro, obviously just going to try and make his escape. You could tell he was tempted to go for that fight. There's not a lot for him to win, and in fact, he's sandwiched in anyway here, so Cloud9 is going to come and find him, and somehow Nitro not having the timing down in his head then, so that will be another round for Cloud9, 14-11 here. This second half has just been dominant. They had a good 6-round streak in the middle of this half that's just been crushing Liquid.
I'm loving it, man. This is where you start to see that real shift in Cloud9. Now that they actually have the structure, the leadership coming in here from Slemmy, this is what the T side is all about. Cloud9 struggled for so long to actually put together T halves and get rounds on the T side. Now they're actually managing to just completely crush Liquid out of this server, because Liquid, once again, on eco, Cloud9 should be able to get up to map point here. And well, that sets them up perfect. So again, Cloud9, they've been so successful on the A site. Straight up catwalk, and it seems like Slemmy's been able to communicate over to his teammates that there's a bit of a stack over here at long, at least 3 players, so.
But look at Stewie, he's just charged in here, looking for the fight, and gonna win it against Elige, following up as well with a kill on the Dren, and the bomb side is lost without any kind of a fight. He catches pretty much the defense that's supposed to be defending long. What a way to lose a round. And this is going to be a map point now for Cloud9. There's no way that Liquid can come back and win this 3 versus 5 with just pistols and no armor. That's not going to happen.
No, it's more like, yeah, exactly. Nothing's thinking feed me, but that's just the bait, because Slemmy's going to pick up both kills. Nothing. What a team player. You know, he isn't looking in for anything, right? He's willing to sack himself for the team.
Honestly, though, at 24 kills, I think he can afford to let go of a couple, just you know, help out his teammates a little bit. Him and Shroud have just been tearing up this map. And again, I'm really pleased to see that. It's not nearly often enough that we get to see these 2 players really go at it.
A revitalized Cloud9. And a Liquid that are clearly stumped. Hiko, you know, he said that in the interview too, man. He's like, there's a lot of history between us. This is my old team. I'm obviously more motivated to beat these guys than anybody else, but right now it's going to be a little bit of a sour ending here for Hiko unless he can find a solution and try and take this map to overtime. So we'll see.
They need 4 rounds in a row here without any mistakes, and at least the start is going to get rough because they don't have the equipment. Again, they can't afford a double up setup. They don't have even 1 AWP. Trying to make the crossing in the middle, and Skadoodle not going to try and challenge it this time.
No, instead it is Cloud9 once again. A bit of a late flash there, a little bit off on the timing. That allows Adren to get in a pit, but Shroud is there to take out Elige. What a shot from Adren, though. 2 kills for Adren, doing more than enough work here. Now it's on Kusta. Gets flashed and nothing will step out, pick him off. So Cloud9 just relentless. They get long control. They set out at the beginning of the round. They say, we're going to get long control, guys. They're like, what if they're there? It's not a problem. We're just going to kill them all.
Yeah, look at the confidence on nothing. I mean, that shot that he got in return on Adren was obviously very impressive, and he just continues to fight. He is not afraid of anything right now. Nitro and Hiko going to have to try and do this 2 versus 3 and hold on to the map. That's what's at stake here.
No pressure. Hiko, I mean, he's been made out as one of the best clutch players in the world. Definitely one of the guys you want to be alive in this sort of scenario. but he doesn't necessarily have the best spot. He's kind of stuck in that box over there in CT. Smokes are available here for Cloud9 to cut off his angle. So instead, he's deciding to change it up. Time to be proactive. Nitro has cleared up Catwalk, and so Hiko's going to follow him up there. And now it's all about the headshots at this point because the incendiaries are down. And they get the bomb plant for long, though, because they still have control of that area with Skadoodle over. He's posted up with the AWP, and this time they do plant it perfectly for him. So it's a near impossible situation here for Liquid. They just have to hit incredible headshots.
They do have smoke, so that's maybe the only silver lining right now, is they can maybe keep Skadoodle out of it a little bit here. Smoke going up on the bomb. Now they need to kill the 2 members on the site here. Nitro pushing up, but he's going to be going down, and Hiko to follow. Nothing. Anything up with a quad kill, and that will be the game for Cloud9. Nothing, dropping 28 kills and a 16-11 finish here. What a game.
Beautiful work. And that was so solid. I mean, just so clean on that T side. A near clean sweep as well. Only letting Liquid pick up 3 rounds total throughout the entire second half. So that was just a beautiful show coming in here from Cloud9. That they've put a lot of work into their offense, into their T side.
Well, we are obviously going to come back with a bit of a breakdown, but first we'll have a quick break and then we'll be right back.
I got my start as a professional Counter-Strike player way back in 2008.
Jordan Gilbert's been playing Counter-Strike professionally since he was a wee little guy.
I was playing casually for a long time while I played ice hockey on the side and was going to school. I competed at a qualifier. We won it under the team name EMG. Got signed by Evil Geniuses, and I haven't looked back since.
He's still a wee little guy now, don't get me wrong, but the difference is now, he's seen it all.
Nothing pushes up towards middle. Nothing playing at the edge of the smoke. Finds that first kill. Nicely done.
We all have like an inherent desire to compete. It's fun to be friends with people, but also go into servers and treat them as your enemy.
That position from nothing, gathering so much info, so much intel, and they have the perfect rotation.
Domestically, our rival right now is probably Liquid, and then probably abroad, Virtus Pro.
He's seen so much experience over these years playing that it really helps him with his veterancy now on the team.
We know there's a lot of fans out there. We go to Romania or Germany or Sweden or London, and for us to kind of come to another place in the world, it's always an honor. We're all pretty stoked that Counter-Strike's growing so much because we all just really love competing.
we've got our studio audience starting to filter in, and for the Cloud9 fans, they'll be sad that they missed that one because, guys, that was a much different performance to what we're used to seeing from Cloud9.
That was everything working out perfectly for him, right? Because this is what we talked about in the pregame, was that, you know, Slemmy coming in as the in-game leader takes that away from Nothing, who was trying to do it to fill Sean's shoes. That obviously wasn't going to work, but Nothing went off in this match. So, I mean, that's this working out completely how it's designed. That's exactly how they want Nothing to play when he doesn't have that burden of leadership. So a really, really good game from them.
Were you surprised? Because we talked about Nothing being inconsistent. Jordan does have that personality where he's a little bit scatterbrained, perhaps focus issues, but here he was just on point. He was hitting all of his shots and just a polished performance from him.
He also looked to be in kind of a new role on Dusty. Usually I'm used to seeing him kind of lurk inside the B tunnels a lot, but it was actually kind of Slimmy doing that. You saw Nothing a lot more involved in actually taking control of map areas, and he was very successful doing it. He put up great numbers. Same for Shroud. He's normally more of a passive guy. He was taking a lot of initiative in this game. He put up big numbers, so definitely a shout out to those two guys. And then you got to add Stewie 2K. You know, we've been talking about his development, continue to play well here today.
Okay, well, we're going to talk more about the game, but just before we get into that, there's some news that we want to break you surrounding E-League, and that is just confirmation that Tyloo, our Chinese representatives, due to scheduling and visa conflicts, will not be able to compete in the league, and we are going to replace them with Selfless, another upcoming North American team who are based in Atlanta. So just confirmation of that coming through for all the people that have been asking questions on social media. Back to the game. So do you think that this new tactical approach is what's really freed up Nothing, or is this just a coincidence? Is this something that would have happened anyway? It's Dust 2. He must have played it a million times in his long and illustrious career.
I mean, you mentioned him being a little bit inconsistent, which has been a trademark throughout his career. So you have those ups and downs, and this could just be one of the ups. It's how long can he keep that up going on? The other thing too, as well, is, you know, Slemmy, as much as we've criticized this pickup, as much as I've criticized this pickup, one thing Slemmy does very, very well is playing within his limitations as a player. He's never trying to take on some massive fight all on his own. You saw him playing long on the CT side, which is hide at the bottom of pit, waiting for teammates to come back. Dust mentioned that Nothing's the one normally lurking in those B tunnels. Well, now we have Slemmy doing it, because why put a player of Nothing's caliber, you know, just hiding in the B tunnels, getting easy kills when people aren't looking, when you have someone like Slemmy who's going to be much more suited to that. So they're actually now a little bit more defined. Also, it might be a good thing that Nothing had to take that stint as an in-game leader to kind of see what it's like, you know, on the other side.
It'll definitely give you a fresh perspective. It ain't as easy as it'll look.
Yeah, he's like, oh, now I need to buckle down, and that'll help everything out.
Yeah, and Dust, tactically, they had a great T-side. And I think that's really interesting, because that was Cloud9's weakness coming into E-League. That was where they were falling down. Their executes were terrible. In the Nothing era, they were especially terrible.
No, I just think they were way more explosive today. And also, the key to being explosive is also being able to do it in a way that's disciplined. And that's the biggest thing that I think Irakanji and Slimmy have done for this team. It's allowed them to, yeah, be aggressive, get in people's faces, but be on the same page while you're doing it. And again, it's great to see Shroud using a more active role. I think when Cloud9 had their big run last summer, it was when Shroud was kind of more of a secondary entry fragger, not just playing passive all the time. So it's good to see him more involved, and good to see them putting up good numbers.
So enough about the good for Cloud9. Let's talk about where it went wrong for Team Liquid. Started strong, came out of the traps, posted big numbers, all smiles, as you can see from the highlights here, and then the game just faded out. They just couldn't close it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just what we've come to know and love about Team Liquid, right? Once I got to 10-10, it just seems like they go in the other direction, right? They kind of lose some of the fundamental gameplay, some of the structure to their play, some of the teamwork, and it all boils down to those players making a little bit more individual, stylistic plays. So when you rely on that too much, especially in closing games out, it's not always going to be fun. That's when you have to grind. That's when you have to rely on the teamwork, rely on the tactics that you've come up as a squad, and they're just really struggling to do it come crunch time. Also, doesn't help that Nothing had that level of a game. I mean, that's going to bust things up. No matter how well you're playing, if this guy's going off, it's going to be hard to stop.
And let's be clear, he's not meant to be the star player.
No. Nothing?
Yeah, he's not meant to be. He might be the star when it comes to the media work, but you're looking at Shroud and Skadoodle, surely. They're your stars.
No, I think Nothing is a little bit meant to be that star player. I don't look at Skadoodle to be the star player anymore. I'd like him to be, but I mean, he's not showing that he wants to be. So no, I'm looking at nothing. I'm saying, okay, now that you were in the game leader for a while, now that you're not, you better put up the kills, because they brought in a guy who's not going to put up those statistical numbers. And if they're going to do that, then they're basically telling nothing. Time to be that superstar.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. Check this out. I mean, both these teams are known for their firepower, not for their tactics. Sure, they have them, but they're more reliant upon star power. And the bottom line is, when you looked at Cloud9 during this game, Stewie 2K played really well. Shroud played really well. Nothing played really well. Look over at Liquid. Elish played pretty well. Kusa did pretty well. Who else did?
I mean, we found the issue. Known for their firepower, not their tactics, and it's not going too well, huh?
Well, we'll talk more about that in just a moment. We're going to take a short commercial break. When we come down, we're going to continue to break down the series. We'll see you soon. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to E-League. I'm your host, Richard Lewis. We got Moses and Dust on the desk. We're partway through a series between Team Liquid and Cloud9, the North American derby. Before we start breaking down the next map we've got, which is going to be Cash, something very important we have to talk about as well, and that's one of the ongoing storylines I'm sure we're going to see across the league. Hashtag Kusta Watch. And now, for those that don't know, maybe are new to the game, what we've got is we've got a young star player in our midst. He plays over at Team Liquid. He's a guy called Kusta, and he's got particularly big shoes to fill now. He did play alongside Simple, the legendary Ukrainian player who has now moved on to new pastures. He has come in and now has been given the AWP, has to fill those shoes, and hasn't traditionally been doing it particularly well. Looks a little bit lost at the moment and is wilting in the spotlight, and everybody's kind of hoping that he's going to be able to step up and propel Team Liquid to strong performances in E-League. What have you guys noticed in his first game here? What did he look like?
Well, that Dust 2 match was really, you saw the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? Because we actually, if you look at that first half as Terrace in general, he actually got them a good amount of impact kills, a good amount of opening kills. His op he had a couple, triple kill rounds defending post plants, and then you have the ugly, which is that Molotov usage, and that fourth round I believe it was, third round maybe, where he just pulls it out with 5 seconds left, can't get the bomb down because he uses the Molotov. That's a very rookie mistake that even with his limited experience should not be happening whatsoever. And then also the bad is he's a player who very much, he doesn't like to duel other oppers. He's one of those oppers who likes to pick off the rifles as they try and enter the bomb site. He wants to anchor sites. He's very good at, peeking into AKs or M4s and taking those fights, but he's very, very bad at holding angles against other oppers. And these are critical facets of being a team opper that you need to develop, and those are areas he absolutely needs to work on.
What would Coach Dust do with him?
I mean, you're absolutely right, especially in situations where some of your entry fragging isn't going so well. I mean, it is true that Elige had a pretty decent game there, but Nitro wasn't really feeling it. He's continuing to kind of be on and off. Even Hiko, the reliable there, wasn't really pitching in a whole heck of a lot. So those are the moments where Kusta does actually have to step up and pick up the slack and try to make some plays. And you're right, he does tend to fall into more passivity. I did see a couple of moments where he tried to take some initiative, and some of those moments actually worked out. And as you just noted, I mean, some good plays at times, but also a couple of mental mishaps that cost a couple of rounds.
So we're going to be moving into Cash now. This is a map that both of these teams play. It's the North American class, the North American staple. Looks like we're going to be going straight into it. We're going to have Anders and Semler to bring us the action here.
Well, thank you very much, Richard. And yesterday we are ready for it here on Cash. It is the second in the best of two game between Liquid and Cloud9 here for E-League. And we have an audience making a bit of noise. I love that. Definitely love that. Semler, what do you think? Cloud9, are they going to be as good as they were on Dust 2?
Why not? Cash has always been a solid map for them. They can actually do some work here. It's all about that T side once again, but they started off getting onto that CT side, which should be the favorite side on this map. So Liquid, definitely hearing some conversation from them outside during the break. They have the game plan. Obviously, they're like, okay, we messed up on Dust 2, but we're not losing focus. We're not even talking about Dust 2. We're talking about what we're going to do on Cash and how we're going to take this map. So I do like that.
And look at this, a triple boost in the middle. Wow, this is so aggressive. They're going to charge in nothing. He's going to have such a hard task in his hand. But actually, they're just going to circumnavigate him. They actually run in through the vent instead into the B bomb side, which might be even worse for Liquid right now. There is a three-man stack here, and that's unusual. Way too many people here. Cloud9 in a good position. Nothing taking one. Stewie, look at that. Clicking the way. Oh my God, Stewie. What are you doing? 3 kills, and all of them headshots in the pistol round.
What beautiful patience. That's some bravery right there from Stewie, because he could have very well jumped the gun and tried to rush out, but instead he stayed calm, cool, collected. His teammate Nothing did a fantastic job baiting for him on the site, so nobody was looking into that corner. And when time came, boom, 3 headshots. He gets it.
Not at all bad. And Liquid have got, I mean, this is a bit unfortunate, because if they had been rushing middle, then Nothing would have been the only one there, and probably they would have come out on top, right? But they sort of run into the vents instead, and the stack going on the B bomb side. So good call from Cloud9, and another good start for them. No bomb plant for Liquid, so they got armor and pistols.
Yeah, force buy, straight up, hoping to get lucky and get that bomb plant, or even just win the round flat out. They do spot the man. And that's Stewie taking a little bit of damage over here on A main. Hiko has opened the door, but Nothing is covering it. So a little bit of information gained there. Quick shoulder peek from Hiko to spot out Nothing. He's going to have to change it up. And now it looks like they might even think about getting aggressive in A halls. That smoke is still blocking off Liquid, though. So no reason to take unnecessary risks just yet from Cloud9.
A lot of map control right now, actually, for Liquid, in the sense that they've been in main. They've been sort of spotting out a couple of Cloud9 members here. They should have some information about what's happening. And all of the middle right now is open to them as well. I think, who was that just in there looking? Might have been Adren just taking a peek into middle. I feel like Cloud9 are maybe a little bit too aggressive here, just having like one person look back and forth, but they don't want to overcommit to peeking main right now.
No, they've got Stewie anchoring that basically by lockers. So he's going to be sitting there waiting to see if anybody tries to commit. That's just not happening, though, for Liquid. They've done a good job of drawing attention over here. Hiko trying to make as much noise as possible, and it's going to wind up being that split. Nitro and Elige just go powering up short, and now it's all on Stewie and Nothing gets overwhelmed. So Stewie, you have to deliver, and he drops the pack. That's a good way to start.
Yeah, that's the crucial kill right now. That might actually slow down Liquid just enough here. He's going to be going down, though, and Nitro still alive for just a second. Slemmy coming up with the Famasen. That will be the end of it. But yes, imagine a world in which Stewie doesn't get that kill on the bomb carrier. And that's what I was worried about. You know, when they overcommit to main, they end up giving up control on middle, and they just get rushed down on what we call highway, leading into the A-bomb side from mid. So that's really dangerous. They don't want to... You usually do that in a response to losing map control. Like if you lose middle, and you know you've lost middle, try and push main. You know, that makes sense. But if you just do it automatically, it could be really risky. So it works out for Cloud9 anyway. They did lose a couple of members there, but... They're still in a good position.
They were able to hold on to the essentials. They got that M4 back. The FAMAS stayed alive. That's been handed over. And now, well, Stewie, pure Stewie style, goes charging in. 4 players there ready to greet him, though, so he only gets the 1 kill. Nothing is there to save him, and nothing with the follow-up HE. Gets another kill with the MP9. Lots of money made here for nothing in the round. And, well, just all-out aggression. But Stewie, I mean, I don't mind him going super aggressive into A main like that when he only has the MP9 to donate. So that's fine. So long as you have Ska, you have nothing there to anchor the site. It's not the end of the world if he gets caught.
So, a quick 3-0 here for Cloud9 as we do finally have some members of the audience in the studio. I like that. It definitely adds to the atmosphere.
Oh yeah, it's sick. It's sick. And I see some Cloud9 jerseys out there, so you know, a couple of fans here must be feeling pretty happy right now, considering Cloud9 are off to a very good start here on Cash. But this is where it can get nasty. Liquid now in the 4th round. They have the money to go for the AKs. No AWP picked up for Kusta, interestingly enough. So they want to be fleet of foot. They want to get out there and take the fight to him. And we'll see, again, straight boost, no time wasted at all. Very aggressive out into mid here for Liquid.
Yeah, but they already have middle, so where are they going to go with it? Quick kill there from Kusta coming in, taking out Stewie, and a second peek as well. And this, Nitro dropping Slemmy. The lack of mid control for Cloud9 here, just horribly backfiring against them. And that's just a great way to win around here for Liquid. But you know, Moses was bringing this up on the panel, saying that this is one of the things that Kusta is very good at, is trying to take these fights with rifles. So we'll see if he's going to continue to do that. It'll just be Skadoodle left here.
And he's in a bit of a tight spot, because obviously they're going to try and hunt down this AWP. They wouldn't mind picking it up for themselves. But Scott, at least, he's going to make it expensive. Gets 3 kills. Will not find the 4th. But some flashy play there from Skadoodle to close out the round, at least making it very expensive for Liquid in the end, dropping 3 players like that. Kusta, though, now he's got his AWP, so he can feel happy about that. He wouldn't have had the money to buy one on his own. So he will save that for the next round. We'll see what he's capable of. But yeah, we're getting the point of view there of Kusta as he opens up with 2 kills on that A main.
Oh man, that works out very well indeed, doesn't it? 3-1, and moving into the 5th round here. Nova shotgun on Skadoodle. You in favor of this, Semler?
The old man, Saka, I love it. Time to go duck hunting.
Well, it's actually Shroud to open up with a great headshot there on Elige. Not a bad way to start. And now look at this crossfire here. Stewie's kind of on his own with the smoke in front. But I would like to see some of those pellets hit from Skadoodle. That'd be interesting.
Oh no, he wants to make that money. $900 per kill with that shotgun. So that's what it's all about at this point. He wants to get that AWP back. And if they go charging in here, Liquid, he's going to be lying in wait. There is a flash, 2 flashes in fact, but they're all the way over on the A site. No utility here to help Cloud9 on the B side, so that's a little unfortunate with how it's playing out.
But a good way to check that corner there. If Stewie had still been left, that would have been a Molotov to kill him for sure. They're using a lot of grenades, which you gotta appreciate from Liquid's point of view. You know, it's better to use those grenades and check out those angles than to just walk in and assume and end up losing the round because of it. But they're getting dangerously close here, Semler. This is 1-shot range.
Oh, there we go. There's the flash. It's Skadoodle. He hit some pellets, but no kill. Adren with the double spray, catching out Stewie. Nice return there from nothing, managing to find 1 kill onto Nitro, but Kusta steps into the angle, takes him out. And it's all on Shroud now. The rotation has come through, so he's not alone. Slemmy's on upper, but Shroud alive on the site with 30 seconds left. It's down to Liquid to actually catch this guy making a mistake, or to charge forward and just take the fight to him. Hiko, not wasting any time, steps out and picks him off.
Wow, that's an expensive round for Liquid, but they do win it. Dren with a triple kill, in fact, and if that shotgun had connected on the first hit, you never know.
Surprisingly underwhelming there from Ska, though. It's like, I'm gonna not shoot, and then I'm going to barely miss the kill, point blank onto Nitro. Nitro can be counting his lucky stars at the end of that round. That should have been a lot of money in Skadoodle's pocket. But Ska, he still has the money for an AWP. It's just glass cannon. If he could have got that kill with the shotgun in the last round, he would have had Kevlar this one.
Yeah, and that could definitely make a big difference. Again, Liquid, look how quick they are in the middle. They're not respecting the idea that Cloud9 could be here, because obviously the CT side, they can set up earlier in the middle than the Ts can, so it is a really big risk. But right now, no effort from Cloud9's point of view to try and stop this. And it's already cost them 1 round.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason why we're putting so much emphasis on mid is that it opens up the ways through the vents there that you see that Skadoodle's currently aiming at to get onto that B site, or you go straight up Speedway, up short, to get onto that A site. So it gives you options on that C side. But the smoke goes down to block off short, so this might start thinking, this might funnel Liquid towards B, but there are currently 3 players set up here. Cloud9, that's all they want. And 2 very quick kills coming through here for Cloud9.
Yeah, how do you get back from this if you're Liquid? This is very hard if you're on the T side of Cash. Kusta with a good kill. Not at all a bad start, but they will lose Elysian in return. And now 2 versus 3. They need another frag to come through here, and it's not going to be easy to find one. They do have the bomb picked up in there. If they counter boost out, though, that is going to be perfect for Cloud9.
A little bit of a flash. And yeah, that backstab is set up now, so it should be solid here for Cloud9. Shroud once again playing that same position that we saw him in the last round. And it's all about not peeking because they don't have any nades to force his hand. So Kusa and Hiko, they have to walk up and hope that Shroud overextends or gets impatient. There's the flash. Does he step out? Yes, he does. Shoulder peek and spots the man. That's Hiko charging up close. And Hiko looking to get that flank in. And this time it is Shroud holding the line. Kusta gets the kill with the HE, but it's not going to be good enough. Nothing is there to secure the round for Cloud9 and give them 4. 4-2 and even a mini Shack.
Perfect, isn't it?
I thought there was something wrong with his thumb. And then I actually, looked closer again, and then, oh, it's Shaq, right. That was one hell of a thumbs up.
If you did have a thumb that looked like Shaq's, you'd probably make a lot of money on that. You could make your own YouTube channel and just immediately become famous.
YouTube, really?
Well, I was going the family route here, son. That's all I'm saying.
Right. So.
Well, 4-2 right now. Cloud9 currently quite happy about how all of this is playing out. I mean, these rounds are a bit expensive, right? It's not like they are coming out with a lot of members still alive, but they are continuously winning them. And now Slemmy in the corner, no one spotted for him. Shroud in checkered, gonna try for the kill there. But trading unfavorably, but tragically, that's the bomb going down. And Slemmy, he can't hold on to it here. Stewie and Skadoodle still left.
Whoa.
Can they get this round through? They should be able to.
That was a beast shot coming out from Nitro there, and a remarkably ugly hold coming in for Cloud9. Just getting completely overwhelmed up close. Nice nade coming in from Stewie, though.
No armor.
Yeah, it's a little bit tough, though, because can he actually... Does he have the information to go off of right now? I don't think so. He's hoping to try and misdirect them, basically, make him think that he's coming in from CT, hoping to draw somebody out into the open. But Liquid, they should just be holding. They're listening for the footsteps, and there we go. Stewie plows forward, and with the Incendiary making noise, oh, if he could have hit that flick. Way too close, and now he's dancing on the edge. There's the man out in the open, just gifting himself. Hiko, so confident in his ability to land the shot, just gets punished.
And the look on his face, you're supposed to be celebrating at that point in time. This is just an ice-cold killer. What a ridiculous clutch. And Hiko, I think, just way too desperate to try and get that kill. Stewie didn't have anything left after that. I'm not sure if Hiko could have known that, but there was no smoke, no other Molotov that he could have thrown down. It would have been really tough for Stewie to win it if Hiko had just played defensively. So 5 for 2 right now. And Cloud9 once again coming out just barely ahead.
Well, Liquid, I mean, yeah, you saw they're not smiling right now. Hiko definitely looking frustrated. And Liquid need to figure out what it is that they need to do to actually start putting some rounds on the board. 5-2, Cloud9 in the lead. And now, well, it's Cloud9 showing that they can be versatile. Because nothing is going to get boosted up here with an MP9. Really? Put the guy with the rifle up there. Slemmy at least has a FAMAS. He can actually take a fight with somebody who's waiting in T-spawn. Right now, nothing is just hoping. He's basically hoping to catch somebody off guard in A main. He's hoping to just drop down behind them as they try and push into the halls.
Yeah, I think that's accurate, and it's interesting that Elise is already covering for the ice cream truck back there. So Nothing is not going to have a great time if he runs into this AK. That should be a lost fight almost immediately. But now, are they going to try for the boost? Oh no, look at this, right in front of each other, and with the wrong weapon out. It's a quick trade there, but I bet you Kusta's not going to be happy about that one.
No, I'm not. I don't think that was quite good enough, though, for Cloud9. And look at this, the Incendiary straight on the Slemmy. He's going to step out. They're not actually pre-aiming that angle. Elige, big mistake. Adren and Elige both picked off by a guy who should have been, basically a piece of fried chicken. Should have been done.
Yeah, and that's one of those mistakes you make when you're under a lot of pressure, You throw the Molotov to flush him out, and then you forget about the other part of that plan, which is actually shooting at him when he comes out. I think they were just assuming, now it's checked, no one's there, and then they just forget about it. Default plant coming through here, and Nitro playing right at the edge on this bomb site, spraying down and getting a good kill in, trying for a second one, but not going to happen, and it will be Cloud9 here, now up 6-2 on the CT side of Cash, which is the more favorite side normally, although some teams can be very good on the T side as well.
What a monster play. We will give it to Adren, though. He did get flashed. So for the follow-up there, you see the flash symbol come up above his head just as he starts to take the fight with Slemmy. So a bit of poor timing there for Adren. Didn't really work out for him. But Slemmy, that was fantastic work. He just completely turned the round on its head. Because when nothing only gets the 1-for-1 trade on the boost, that still favors Liquid. A 4-on-4, that should still work out for Liquid. It's Slemmy who just completely turns it around. And he's been a little quiet. I mean, that double kill, he was sitting on 3 kills before that, so now sitting on 5. But a 6-2 scoreline now with Cloud9 pretty firmly in the lead at this point. They're off to a fantastic start on the CT side. Nice nade onto Kusa and Elige as well, doing big damage.
Yeah, they were obviously having some sort of private conversation there and just interrupted.
Rude.
Hard to talk over an HE grenade, I bet. Another grenade coming in, doing a little bit of damage to Hiko, but shouldn't be much of a problem this round for Cloud9. And I think Liquid, if they can get a bomb plant right now, then that should be enough for them, essentially. You know, they should be happy at that point.
That's the goal. That's the aim of this round. Get that bonus $800 on everybody. Oh, wow, nothing. Just put some shots through and completely just shuts down Pusta. Now Stewie going for the pre-fire. Point blank runs out of bullets in the end, but nothing is there to save the day. But Nitro will be denied the bomb plant. He has to be. He's getting 1 kill at least. A point blank headshot on nothing. That'll do the trick. But still, 3 players survive the round for Cloud9. That's 7-2 now for Cloud9. Well in the lead now. You can kind of expect to see 8-7 sometimes on this map, right? It can be pretty even, 50-50, but Cloud9 now have so much room to work with.
What do you make of Slemmy's name? There's something about that that's slightly different in my mind about all the rest of them. Is it just me? It stands out to me. That's what I'm trying to say, Sumner, you know?
Again, I'm trying to look for like the hook here.
Well, you wouldn't know it. I'll explain it a bit. Nitro gonna try and play inside the smoke there. I think he flashed himself, and it's right now a 2-for-1 trade favoring Cloud9. Shroud with another kill coming through, and it is gonna be finally him going down, but Kuster alone in a 1-on-3. Trying to see if he could make it work, but the bomb is trapped on the other side, and he has an AWP. It's almost like he's waiting for someone to boost him, but Kuster, they're all dead. It's just not gonna happen.
Real dark. It got real dark for a second there.
Just a little bit.
But I mean, now Kuster, at least he has one thing that's going for him here, right? 1:10 on the clock. Lots of time to work with here. But Cloud9 should not be making any mistakes, basically, to allow him in here. Stewie should just be focused on A main. That's exactly what he's doing. He's standing at the bottom of short, so he's close enough to support Slemmy. And this is all about just making sure that you don't get stabbed in the back, because this guy, he really can only come from the extremities. If Slemmy has got control of mid, Stewie, all you have to do is focus on A, and Skadoodle is locking down B. So there isn't a whole lot of room for Kusa to work with here. He just needs to hope that he can catch somebody out and get him in his crosshairs.
Yeah, and they know that he's eventually going to be gravitating towards that bomb anyway, so yeah, they can really just keep it cool right now. And he's also running out of time, that's plain and simple. Stewie with a good kill, and that's going to be it. 8-2. Cloud9, they seem even better than they did on Dust 2. Even better start for them this time.
I'm digging the music, man.
This is a tactical time right now. You see, this is obviously a Danish thing, but so SLEM in Danish is like it's just a word for like bad or potentially naughty in the right context. So whenever I see Slemmy, I just have to stop my brain from translating it into baddie or something like that.
You're right though. That would see, that's something that nobody else would get. Astralis would have got that. Dignitas would have got that.
I don't know if they have made those jokes on Astralis, but I could see that happening. They're a really weird team, so some really weird people on that team. Well, we do have the tactical timeout. Maybe we can just catch up on who's doing well in this game right now. Shroud, not quite as hot as he was on Dust 2, but not out of the game by any means.
No.
Nothing, still doing well. Now, consistency has always been the key. We're talking consistent over 2 maps here, but I'll take that as a start for a potential, star player to make a return. And then we got Stewie in here, and that's obviously just exciting. We've seen him in this game already be very good.
Well, I think the key here is, regardless of how this second map plays out, we're going to have to try and track Nothing down for an interview, have a word with him, ask him what's changed up that's really allowed him. Like, how does he feel in the roster now that Slemmy's in, Irakanji's here standing behind them as well, their coach. I mean, clearly something has changed to allow him to unlock this kind of level that we haven't seen from him in so long in CSGO. It's almost like ancient history, written down in hieroglyphs. Nothing used to get kills. That's we haven't seen it in so long, man.
I just think I think it could be a strength and it could be a problem. I think Nothing is always like, he's always in a very good mood. He's always very excited, you know. He's always going to be the guy to try and bring up the mood for his team. You know, if everyone's feeling down, I think Nothing is going to be that person.
Right.
But I sometimes wonder if that comes at the cost of him also having a harder time sort of really taking it seriously. You know, is Nothing going to be the guy who's up at, 3 in the morning, practicing the smokes, just, edging out the last bit of technique that he needs, Or is he going to be the guy to say, this is going to work out fine, we'll probably make it, we're giving it our best shot, That winner mentality that the panel were talking about for Hiko, I'm quite sure Hiko will be the guy on the other hand to put in, 110% to try and make it work, so.
Well, not only does Hiko stream, he basically just only does CS. I mean, Nothing, he's got some crazy dance moves. That's what I was about to say, right? Sure, he's up practicing the flashbang dance. At the club, at the club, just doing work that way.
I'm sure that dance has to kill at the club, but the thing is, in the game,
not so much.
Not so much, right?
Unless you get the flash in. I mean, right now, what I want to see from Liquid, we haven't seen a full execute yet.
What I have found is that generally, if you go flashing in the club, they are going to throw you out. Speaking from personal experience here, Semler, that's not a good idea.
Running in stadiums too, that's also a no-go.
Just don't do it. Don't even do it. Take my word for it. All right, we are getting back into the game here. Cloud9 up 6 rounds. Liquid, I can't even point to like a consistent pattern that's been working out for them here.
Right.
This is just all going badly right now.
I want an A execute full on smoke, like what do they used to call it, veggie wrap. That was the North American term for Sean Gares. That was his strat basically. He got super salty one day when I think it was Liquid. He was like, they're using my strat. It's like, yeah, man, because they can watch a demo and take your strat. It's not the end of the world.
The veggie wrap. I'm not going to question that.
He's a fit guy. Eats rabbit food. What do you want? Got to, sacrifice some things to look that good, Andrews.
This is true. This is true. You're gonna have to give up on the bacon. Don't know
Never that.
Don't know if I can do that. It will be the Molotov raining in, just to deny a little bit here, and the grenade did land on Nitro early on. So Cloud9. Again, they are very aggressive in main. I mean, even when they don't really need to be, they're still just having a presence there. It's going to be annoying for Liquid.
It's probably, with intent to try and throw a stick in things. If Liquid are trying to set up some kind of delayed execute onto a site, if Cloud9 are showing a presence in here early on, it could actually throw a wrench. But right now, they are just going to be pushing through. And, well, they happen to line up for Nothing, who gets a third headshot. One of them a wall bang. Stewie steps in, gets another one. Are we going to get 5 headshots here from Cloud9? Well, we'll get one from Elige. That's going to work. Brings it back to a 1v3. He has Kevlar as well, so he has a little bit of room to work with here now that he has an M4 to play. And he's got that bomb. So if he can get this bomb plant, actually, this is a huge win for him in the round, but it will get denied in the end. Skadoodle does deliver on the 5th headshot.
Yeah, and I do like that. I think that is the new forklift as well that's being played on, obviously, here. So, so quite cool. Working out a lot better. There are some other minor map changes that maybe one day I will look at. Yeah, what a great round here, and it will be a 9th round for Cloud9.
17-1-8 for Nothing though right now.
Yeah,
he is definitely delivering on a level that we have not seen in quite some time. So really refreshing. But it's the full buy for both teams. 9-2 the score. Cloud9 still in the lead, and the double op strategy being busted out here on the CT side. So we'll see if they can actually find a pick. Shroud is holding aggressive though with that M4, but there's still a gap. It's not perfect, and Kusta doesn't pull the trigger. He had him dead to rights.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he spotted that or if the smoke bloomed just a second before he could have seen it. Again, the players are obviously not seeing the X-ray outline that we're seeing, so it's a little bit different playing the game without the X-ray there. Shroud, bit of a blind shot coming through. Kusta, rewarded for the patience though, and Liquid, they really need to get back in here. This has to be like at least 10-5, so they need another 3 rounds, I think.
Look at this hard rotation coming out from Cloud9 as well. They are not messing around. As soon as Slemmy is gone, they instantly rotate an extra man over to cover this B site. 3 players sitting here, and Stewie holding a passive retake position over on the A side, playing at Car, and he sees that short smoke go down. So right now, Stewie's trying to communicate this to his teammates, and it looks like Skadoodle is going to be the one to rotate over to try and lend a hand on the A site. The bomb is rotating there as well. So this is a good call coming out here from Cloud9.
Setting up for a bit of an A hit right now. Stewie is by the truck, so he has to get at least 1 and survive, and preferably 2 kills. There's so much riding on his position, right? Oh, they line up for him. He actually got the shot on Nitro. That could have been a 2-for-1 shot. Stewie doing a lot of work right now, but they're trying to see if they can wrap around. Second kill coming through here, and he's brought it back in the favor of Cloud9. Now comes the counter boost. They're trying to get into middle, and if Adren can't stay alive here, and indeed he won't, now Liquid is just falling apart. They go for the plant, but it's not even that great of a plant right now. I don't see how they can bring it back here. Kusta and Hiko, they're going to have to go really big in this round.
It's all about Kusta. And he's got the line onto truck. Stewie taking shots, and so he knows that there's somebody over here with the AWP right now. Shroud pushing in aggressively through A main. There aren't going to be a whole lot of angles here to work with. Hiko, though, will trade 1-for-1, and Kusta still alive. Takes out nothing, but Stewie pushes forward from CT and shuts him down in the end. So, solid round coming in here from Cloud9, actually. Very mobile around the map, rotating A to B, and then back over once Stewie calls that this is actually the play. Spotting multiple people. And Nitro, man, look at this brave peek coming in from Nitro. He just really went for it, tried to take the fight to Stewie. Decided, actually, somebody needs to make the difference here. I'm going to be the one to step up. Goes for the aggressive peek and gets punished.
I mean, I don't know. I thought that round was going to be over really quick because Stewie shouldn't have been able to get that much out of it. And he gets a triple kill at the end, so it's just very, very impressive. We are going to be the 13th round, and Liquid now, I think they're just all in at this point. Like, they just got to keep going here because if it doesn't work out right now, that we could be seeing, I mean, it's obviously not quite what happens to Renegades, but it could be something similar where suddenly the second map just completely crumbles.
Oh yeah, it's 2 rounds better than what Renegades got so far. So that's something. It's already a positive. In case you guys were wondering, Renegades got 16-0'd on Train by Luminosity. So a pretty brutal way to start the league off for them.
Too soon, Samuel.
Too soon. Too soon. Oh yeah.
I mean, depending on who you are. Stewie creeping back in and getting a kill on Hiko. That's got to be a little bit annoying. And again, it's this aggressive A main presence. It isn't usual. It's not how teams normally play. And I think it's throwing Liquid a little bit off because normally you have more or less have control of that part of the map, and it just limits the CT information, and that's not happening right now.
What's wild is that Cloud9 are hardly putting up any fight at all in mid. Ever since that boost, we haven't really seen too much from them, and yet Liquid aren't really making use of that.
Oh
Skadoodle through the smoke, the timing is perfect. Elisia's down, Adren can't find the headshot on Slemmy, who's being a very naughty boy, and Kusta. Well, it's all on Kusta now, 1v5. Bomb is right in front of him, 30 seconds on the clock, and he's just, wow, Slemmy just swings out wide, takes his face off. 11 rounds on the board now for Cloud9. A measly 2 for Liquid. And Liquid, they don't even have enough for a real full buy.
Yeah, but they should go for it anyway here. I think saving in the 14th round would be a little bit ridiculous, so might as well just try and see what they can happen. Maybe just go for a bit of an aggressive B hit. Throw the grenades in there, try and see if you can make it work.
YOLO? The last time they YOLO'd onto B, though, that's when they got wrecked. I mean, that was the pistol round, right? Stewie crouched in the snacks corner, took 3 of them out with headshots, so maybe that's completely turned Liquid off. And now they just want to go for the A rush. Straight up, no fear, only dreams, and Stewie's there to shatter them. Nothing has got the line on door as well. Hiko can't get out there to help his mates. And Stewie, he just reigns supreme.
Wow, he's so good at playing this angle now. He's even going to push up. He's done enough. He could just call in for backup and wait for the team to show up, and they would win this round, but he wants a little bit more. Hiko, close to the bomb site here, and the bomb is actually dropped. They don't even have it picked up right now. Finally, Elige gonna get his hands on it, but it is way too late. Nothing picking up a kill. Stewie coming home with a quad kill here, and a 12th round for Cloud9. Stewie right now at 22 kills in 14 rounds.
Yeah, completely overtaken. Nothing. I mean, nothing isn't far behind, but still, this is what you're looking for right now. Just doesn't miss a shot. A couple of these easy ones as well that we would see some operators, you know, they'll fluff the easy ones. They'll hit the hard shots, but then miss out on like a really 100% kind of shot that they need to hit. Stewie, boom, delivers shot after shot, and even ends strong with a pistol. Great to see. I mean, it's just great to see Stewie coming into his own on Cloud9 as well. One of the more controversial picks that we've had in CSGO. He came in, I mean, just so much pressure on him and attention. A lot of criticism just because of his lack of experience and, you know, his YOLO style.
Yeah, I think especially the pro scene, almost everyone just hated him because of his style. People did not enjoy it at all. Shroud with a good opening frag there for Cloud9, actually peeking again, and he's going to go down to Hiko now inside the bomb site. Still Slemmy and Skadoodle.
Wow, Stewie's still here with that AWP. Skadoodle gonna miss his shot though, and they're flash white, but Ska gonna eat the easy shot. Point blank misses. Will not get followed up on, however. Slemmy will hold. And it's a 1v2, but not for long. Nothing rotating over from the A site. We'll pick up the final kill of this first half, and it's a 13-2 scoreline at the close. Cloud9 just dominating, completely shutting Liquid out of the map.
Wow, that's pretty shocking. I mean, nothing like what I was expecting. I think Liquid, they really look tilted on this first half. And again, it's following up from losing the first map. That was very close, but this time, not even anywhere near that. So this second half, we've seen it in Counter-Strike. It happens that you get miracle comebacks.
A little bit of a smile.
This would be incredible, wouldn't it?
A little bit of a smile there from young Stu. I dig it. I mean, Liquid as well right now, they've got to be just shaking their heads. Their CT side was not strong on Dust 2 either. Cloud9 were able to just continue to press forward and get bomb plant after bomb plant. But we're going to see how it plays out in the second half after this short commercial break. We'll be right back.
It is the second half here in the fourth match of the day for E-League, and it's the opening week summer. We've got Liquid and Cloud9 playing each other, and right now, Cloud9 is showing us that they still may just be the best team in North America, at least if you discount the Brazilian teams. But yeah, still a pretty good title to hold. Liquid are having a really hard time against their countrymen here.
Yeah, they're just getting blown out of the map. I was a little skeptical coming into this as far as the shape that Cloud9 would show here on land, but right now, I mean, Liquid are struggling massively on Dust 2. Their CT side fell apart, and Cloud9 were able to power through and take the map. Now it's, I mean, same order of things. Cloud9, though, this time around, massive job on the CT side. They completely locked Liquid out. They start the half with 13 rounds, so if they pick up this pistol round, they could just completely just wipe out Liquid, pick up a solid second map, and move on to the next match.
Yeah, and we've got like a really cool combination on this team of sort of the old guard, the legend, and nothing, and then young Stu coming in, and they're both doing extremely well right now. So I don't know how Liquid could possibly deal with this right now. It would be nothing less than a miracle if they can actually make it back in this game. Stewie sneaking all the way into middle, and again, so much map control here for Cloud9, just taking care of it. Kusta gonna walk right in, and a very hard angle for him to predict that anyone was gonna be at. So early kill going in favor of Cloud9, and Shroud picking up a Dren as well. Hiko in a world of trouble behind here, trying to see if he can stay alive. He's gonna pick up the one headshot, going for a second one, but they are swarming him right now, and he can't stay alive back there. He's gonna be going down, Elise to fall, and now Nitro all on his own.
Now that was the big play. The fact that Elige gets nothing out of his flank, and Nitro gets completely caught out, shot from 3 different angles in a 14th round. Shroud showing sounds of happiness. Sounds? Signs. That's what I'm going for. He smiled. That's what I'm trying to say. Usually Shroud looks like, you know, he's the Undertaker. You know, never a happy day in his life. No, today, things are going well for once. 14-2. And while Liquid going to go for the force buy here, hoping that they can get something done. Kusta not going to invest anything at all. No, he will. He's actually in it with his mates. Fully buying out here, not trying to play for the long game. They realize their backs are to the wall right now. They need to start posting rounds on the board.
Look, I mean, at this point, the comeback is so unlikely to happen that if it happens in this round, you want to make sure you are allowed at least one mistake, you know? Because if you save this round and play the next one, then you're essentially telling your teammates, let's just try and see if we can play like 13 rounds in a row or 14 rounds in a row without making any mistakes. So it's kind of nice to have just the one slip up and you're still in the game. So They're just trying to see if they can maybe make this work. Hiko going to be pushing in here. That's a good shot, but it is returned with Elise and Hiko both going down. So still favoring Cloud9, and how can you retake this?
Well, I'm sure that somebody on Liquid called out that Stewie is lit, but nothing is there to watch his back. And so it's down to Kusta and Adren, last two alive here for Liquid. And they're kind of, I mean, it's decision-making time. Do you actually try and retake, or do you hold on to the gear that you have? Currently $2,600 invested here in Liquid. Now $1,300 as they lose half of it. And nothing is just going to press forward. And Adren not going to be able to get anything done. 2 kills for Stewie, 2 for nothing.
It's become a competition to get the top frags here for these two players. Stewie at 26, nothing at 22. My God.
It's excellent. I mean,
between them, they have more kills than the entire Liquid team combined. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, Liquid have really just not been able to get anything going on this second map whatsoever. They're getting steamrolled at this point. Now they need a perfect CT half with this force buy. They've got the CZs, 5-7, but can they get 13 rounds in a row? Not too sure about it. Aggressive push out here to be hauled. Shroud will find his first kill on Adren. Kusta, however, brings it back. And the Skadoodle gets headshot, so they have to be a little careful here at Cloud9. They don't want to throw away the edge.
Yeah, just close out this game. I mean, there's no reason to play around and sort of prolong it. Just get it out of the way. You know you've got this anyway. Now Hiko and Elise are going to be left 2-on-4 right now. And Cloud9 on Cash. Who would have thought that they would be this powerful on it? Elise, not a chance. Going to be the 28th kill here coming through for Stewie, and he's looking for 29. A single headshot is going to be at 16-2 as Cloud9 take out Liquid on Dust 2 and Cash both.
Put him out of his misery. And what an impressive performance from those two guys right there. Nothing and Stewie. Everybody delivering on the team. Slemmy had his moments as well as Shroud and Ska, but that's what is so key now. Stewie seems like he's coming into his own. He just completely came alive on that second map, as well as nothing. And we just can't stop talking about it because, well, it is pretty important. We haven't really seen this kind of performance out of these players in quite some time.
Yeah, and it's interesting as well. We've got Yurikandi as the coach there on Cloud9. Obviously, he was playing with Shroud way back in Manajuma with Desi and a couple of other people too. So it's a good fun, good little historic sort of narrative there on the Cloud9 team. But what a win for them.
Yeah, long throwback. That's...
Yeah. Well, I think we are just about ready. As we come back, of course, we do have another couple of games coming up and a bit of a breakdown of this map. But a tweet coming out here. Call me Rosax. The Elite production has been incredible. Can't wait to sit my grandpa down and watch it on TBS this Friday. That's what we're all looking forward to. Absolutely. We'll be back after a break.